Tobias Harris, Asar Thompson, and Jalen Durham, who the Knicks kept under wraps in game number 1. They did the same for Cade Cunningham, who, yes, had 21 points and 12 assists, but he certainly had to work for it, largely against the defense of OG Anunoby. Cunningham shot 8 for 21 from the field. Anunoby was such a force on both ends of the floor, but Jalen Brunson spoke specifically about what makes OG Anunoby such a great defender.
I mean, obviously the way he plays physically on the ball, it's great. Obviously, he's one of the strongest guys in the league. The way he's able to use his body and the way he plays defense, and obviously offensively as well. He has a knack for it. Some people have a knack for doing a lot of things on the court, and that's just his knack. That's what comes natural to him. So I feel like he's always had that.
And one of the overriding themes of this series is the Knicks' playoff experience against the youth or inexperience of many key members of the Detroit Pistons. It was the first playoff game for Cade Cunningham, for Jalen Duren, for Asar Thompson, and they all struggled. The veterans for the Pistons really carried them for much of the night. Tobias Harris had 25 points in game number 1. Malik Beasley had 20 off the bench, and Tim Hardaway Jr. had 19. For the Knicks, it was one of their veterans, Cameron Payne, providing the biggest spark. And how important does Payne think it is to have playoff experience?
I mean, it's good. Like you said, I got some experience. I've been there before. I know how the fourth quarter gets. You still got to play your game. You still got to, play Knicks basketball at the end of the day. You can't kind of get bottled up within the game. You just got to kind of be ourselves. The way the bench played tonight, that's how we've been playing all season. So we just got to keep being ourselves.
Play Knicks Game Day Bingo exclusively on the Knicks app for a chance to win a signed item. Download the Knicks app to start playing now. Almost time for tip-off of game number 2. When we come back on New York Knicks Game Night, Monica McNutt will join me with a preview and her keys to tonight's game number 2. I'm Pat O'Keefe, and you're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN.
Hey sports fans, thank you for hanging out with us and chatting it up. We're thrilled to bring you the Playoff Pulse. Catch every single NHL and NBA playoff game right here while supporting an incredible cause, SickKids Hospital. Together, we can make a difference with every single view.
Holy Mackinac! Joe Bowen here, the voice of your Toronto Maple Leafs. Every moment you watch on Toronto Sports Insider helps SickKids Hospital. 100% of Leafs playoff stream revenue goes straight to their life-saving care, helping kids in our community and beyond. This is what Playoff Pulse is all about, bringing playoff excitement and making a lasting impact for those who need it most. So let's rally together and show sick kids we're in their corner.
Hey everyone, Easton Cowan here. Let's amplify our impact. Every like, share, and subscribe boost our donations to Sick Kids. Watch the games, get hyped, and spread the word to grow our Playoff Pulse community. Join us now.
Into the trees, grand slam!
To jaw-dropping web gems.
A diving catch over the shoulder by Johnson.
College softball and baseball are heating up, and you can catch the action on Sirius XM. Hear live play-by-play from the nation's top conferences and powerhouse programs all season long. Stay connected to the action on Sirius XM or streaming anytime on the Sirius XM app. For a complete schedule of games, go to SiriusXM.com/sports.
Back at the Garden on New York Knicks Game Night, getting set for Game 2 between the Knicks and the Pistons. Pat O'Keefe joined now by Monica McNutt, who's on the call tonight with Tyler Murray. Monica, the way that Game 4 transpired, especially with that massive fourth quarter run, what, if any, carryover can there be for the Knicks coming into tonight's game number 2?
The defensive intensity. I mean, as much as we will glamorize the 21, the second part of the run was the O part, right? The defense just woke up. I thought they did a much better job of defending the three-point line. They did a much better job of playing with pace, and they were far more disruptive in the passing lanes. I think both Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns may have picked up steals at the 5 position in the course of that stretch.
Knicks a chance to take a 2-0 lead in the series. Time now for your Knicks keys to the game. Monica, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
All right, so I'm starting in the paint, Pat. This continues to be a point of emphasis for me. Whether you're talking about fast break scoring, dribble penetration, offensive rebounds, paint is going to be important. I think if the Knicks can continue to win the battle of the paint scoring, then that means that they are doing 2 things, obviously scoring in the paint, but they're also putting tremendous pressure on this Pistons defense, which to me should create the byproduct of getting to the free throw line. Obviously, based on game 1, well, you're going to have to defend the 3-point line. You can't let the vets of the Pistons keep these guys locked in by going lights out from deep. And then finally, I think avoid the lulls, right? The third quarter was frankly a nightmare. You and I looked at one another and like, wow, it got so quiet from a game where we could hardly decipher the whistles early in that ball game. So if this team can avoid those lulls, I think they'll be in good shape tonight. So my keys are paint scoring, defend the 3-point line, and avoid the lulls.
All right, we'll be listening. Have a great call, Monica.
Thank you.
That was the Knicks keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Learn more at kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. And that'll do it for New York Knicks game night. Coming up next, game 2, Knicks Pistons, Madison Square Garden. Tyler Murray and Monica McNutt have the call, and I'll be back with you at halftime. Enjoy the game, everyone. I'm Pat O'Keefe, and New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
This has been the New York Knicks pregame show. Get ready. New York Knicks basketball is coming right up.
Not hungry right now? Think about a burger. Still not hungry? Think about a smash burger. Yeah, that's what we thought. Can you hear the sizzle of the griddle? Can you smell the Angus beef? Can you taste the charred perfection? The hunger's kicked in. The salivary glands have turned on like a spigot. It's time to make it yours. Go to smashburger.com to find the closest spot.
Ever stop and think about how connected our city truly is? Bridges, rails, towers, all connected by steel, paint, and plain old hard work. We're the New York Structural Steel and Painters Contractors Association. Since 1974, we've worked alongside our skilled partners at Local Union 806 to keep New York's infrastructure safe, sturdy, and visually appealing. From iconic landmarks like the Brooklyn Bridge and the World's Fair Tent of Tomorrow to hidden gems in every borough, our crews protect New York's history with pride and precision. Every day, commuters on the Throgs Neck Bridge, subway riders, and drivers crossing countless overpasses depend on our expertise. We're quietly there, daily, making your journeys safer and smoother. We know it's more than paint. It's about protecting, preserving history, and respecting our city. At the New York Structural Steel and Painters Contractors Association, we don't merely construct buildings. We foster enduring relationships. Visit nySSPCA.net and see how we keep New York connected.
New York City is the mecca of basketball.
And in a crowded city where you're working hard to stand out, we're doing the same thing with Bodega Cat Rye Whiskey.
Like our Knicks, this is a whiskey with something to prove. And it's smoother than a JB step back.
Whether it's the Knicks or Bodega Cat Whiskey, it's our year, baby.
If you're a liquor store, restaurant, bar, or club in the tri-state, ask your local R&DC rep how to stock up. Grab a bottle yourself at bodegacatwhiskey.com, and because we like you, use code New York for 10% off your first order.
Bodega Cat Whiskey, 90 proof. Drink responsibly, folks.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Three-pointer knocks it down. We are all tied at 98 on the Cameron Payne three.
New York Knicks basketball is on the air.
Shot clock at 7. Payne fires a 3.
He hits another one, and the Knicks lead by 5.
The New York Knicks. Are you ready?
The biggest key is game 1's over. This is a new game, 0-0. You got to do it all over again. You got to fight for 48 minutes and then go from there.
You know, they're going to be a little bit more desperate, a little bit more physical, a little bit more energetic, a little more focused. And we got to make sure that, you know, we rise to the occasion. That's the playoffs.
Knicks basketball starts right now. Live from Madison Square Garden for the NBA playoffs. It's game 2. The Knicks versus the Pistons. Now here's Monica McNutt, and with the play-by-play, here's Tyler Murray on the MSG Radio Network.
Well, last night, or 2 nights ago, Cam Payne said he'd been waiting all year for the first playoff game of the season at MSG. And for game 2, we only have to wait 48 hours as the Knicks look to take a commanding 2-0 lead over the Detroit Pistons on a Monday evening here at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks with a come-from-behind 123-112 win on Saturday in Game 1. Looking to carry over that fourth-quarter momentum, if that's possible. They scored 40 points in a playoff quarter for the first time since the 1950s. So a tough act to follow if they want to keep it rolling. But they got the postseason off to a good start. And unfortunately for the Pistons, they got some bad news earlier today. Isaiah Stewart will not be available, dealing with a nagging knee issue. That kept him out of the fourth quarter on Saturday when the Knicks made that big 21-0 run. We'll see if perhaps Paul Reed is able to fill in for these Pistons. But at any rate, Monica McNutt, the Knicks have to feel good about what they were able to eventually put together in Game 1. And, of course, you have to hold serve when you have home court advantage in this postseason. What are you expecting out of the gate from both of these teams? You can probably figure Detroit's going to be the more desperate team, but what can you expect from both sides here?
Tyler, can I be very candid and honest with you?
I just rambled for a long time. You have no idea what to say?
And I had the really cool opportunity to voice over a pregame thing that just ran, and I'm still sort of like, oh my God, this voiceover thing that I did just ran in the Garden. So I don't know what you asked me. I was listening to the voiceover. You didn't realize it was me, right?
I wish I heard it myself.
Exactly, you were working. I was like, oh my God, this is still so cool. I'm sorry, let's go, quick, let's do this.
Well, my second favorite voice, though, Monica,
yours.
Is Mike Walshevsky.
Oh.
You're my favorite voice, of course, and I want to hear from Mike Walshevsky exactly now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. And welcome to Round 1, Game 2 of the 2025 NBA playoffs. Tonight's matchup features the Detroit Pistons and your New York Knicks, presented by Experience Abu Dhabi. And now, if you're able, please rise, remove your caps here to present our nation's colors. Please welcome the New York City Police Department. And here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner from the cast of Hamilton, which will be celebrating its 10th anniversary this summer on Broadway, please welcome Morgan Anita Wood.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Morgan Anita Wood.
They are ready for more playoff basketball here at Madison Square Garden. Monica McNutt, quickly, what should fans expect for these opening moments here? It was nip and tuck in the first two quarters on Saturday. It was tied after the first, and then just a 2-point Knick lead heading into halftime. What do you expect here tonight?
I love, and I continue to repeat the quote that J.B. Bickerstaff offered before Game 1. Experience comes as quickly as you can learn. I actually think that this series will mirror a lot of what we saw in Game 1. I do not think the Pistons are going away. I think they are young. I think they are connected as a unit and are chomping at the bit in terms of this opportunity to do something special. So, I think the first half probably looks a lot like yesterday's first half. I do think the Knicks will be a little bit more attentive to the three-point line, which could make a big difference. But Cade Cunningham being, and I lose contained loosely, Tyler, because he still finished with a double-double as far as 12 assists and 21 points. But I think Cade Cunningham being contained more times than not in this series is unlikely.
I will use the word contained pretty strongly, actually. That's the very best you could hope for, holding him to 8 out of 21 from the field. Let's get you tonight's playoff officials after the starting lineup, which is put together by Tom Thibodeau in year 5 for the Knicks. As you might expect, it is the same starting 5 we've seen all year, and they continue to have played more minutes together than any other 5-man unit in the NBA. Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges in the backcourt. Brunson coming off his 12th career 30-point playoff game, tied for second in franchise history with Willis Reed. He'll need 7 more to pass Patrick Ewing for the all-time Knick record. Mikal Bridges at the other guard got off to a hot start on Saturday. He was 3 for 5 from the field, but it did not make another shot until the fourth quarter. But that wound up being a mid-range dagger that eventually put the game out of reach. On the wings, it's Josh Hart and OG Anunoby. Interesting day for Hart. He only played 7 minutes in the first half because of 3 fouls, and then basically played the entire second half, wound up with 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. And nobody noticed because Jalen Brunson was hobbled on the play, but Hart nailed his only 3-point make, which is hopefully a good sign of things to come. Big cheer for OG Anunoby just now as he's introduced, coming off a playoff career high. 5 steals in game 1. It was actually his first postseason game when he had 20 points and more than 1 steal. Talk about great games. Karl Anthony Towns maybe had his finest two-way performance yet as a member of the Knicks. 23 points in game 1, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. But perhaps most importantly, when the Knicks needed stops in the fourth quarter, he was a big part of it. Wound up with 2 blocks and 4 steals on the night. As for the Pistons, led by first-year head coach J.B. Bickerstaff, it is Tim Hardaway Jr. and Cade Cunningham in the backcourt. Cunningham 6 points in the first half, but 15 in the second half. He was just announced as a Most Improved Player of the Year award finalist yesterday. Jalen Brunson will be a Clutch Player of the Year finalist, and he should win the award, but that's just one man's opinion. Tim Hardaway Jr., big third quarter in game 1, had 12 of his 19 points in that frame just after halftime. On the wings, it's Tobias Harris and Amen Thompson. What a start it was for Harris, 22 points. But after halftime, he took just 3 shots and only scored 3 points. Didn't see a ton of Asar Thompson, the twin brother of Amen Thompson. In game 1, he had 5 personal fouls, only played 23 minutes. But he was asked what the most difficult part about guarding Jalen Brunson is, and his answer was nothing. So we'll see how that matchup goes today between Brunson and Thompson. Of course, Brunson put 34 points on Thompson and the Pistons just 2 days ago. And they'll ask a lot of their center tonight. That's Jalen Duren, who did have 5 offensive rebounds, but was a minus 20 in the series opener. And they'll need him today because Isaiah Stewart is unavailable with a right knee injury. When it's game time, it's Tully time. The opening tip is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the all-new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. And we promised you the officiating crew. It is a Josh Tiven outfit with Curtis Blair, Ray Acosta, and Scott Twardowski available as the alternate. Officials brought to you by London Jewelers. Visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the Americana Mall and the mall at Short Hills. With Monica McNutt, I'm Tyler Murray. Our producer is Ray Santiago. As we've got orange and blue lights flickering on the back of every seat here at MSG. Knicks are in their dark blue uniforms, and the Pistons are in their whites with red across the front, showing Pistons. Opening tip is won by Karl Anthony Towns, and the Knicks will go from right to left.
I am curious, LT. Tyler Murray, first reference is your full name. Great backdoor cut there by Jalen Brunson, though. I am curious to see if Karl Anthony Towns looks to score earlier in this ball game compared to game 1.
Brunson will pump fake on the left wing, sealed off by Thompson. Has to hoist at the horn for 3. Back rimmed it. Good defense that time from the young Thompson. And Cunningham gets the rebound. Yes, you asked Tom Thibodeau that exact question before the game, Monica, as Hardaway drives baseline far side. Missed an easy layup, but Duren gets the offensive rebound. Pump fake and a right-hand jam around Josh Hart. And it's 2-0 Detroit. Tom Thibodeau gave you a very good answer that we've heard a lot this year. The game will tell you what to do, so they're not exactly aiming at getting anybody like Karl Anthony Towns going early. But you're right, once he got rolling in the second half, that made a huge difference for the Knicks.
I did appreciate Coach Thibodeau elaborating a bit, though, because you're right. We often hear that singing.
Anunoby misses a right point three, a little bit short. Hardaway into the front court. Here's Cade Cunningham with his first touch of the game. He did not look comfortable early on Saturday. Held it to 6 points in the first half. Matched up with Anunoby again. Spins on him to the right block. Tough shot in the lane. Won't go. Rebound tipped in by Thompson. And it's a 4-0 start for Detroit. Now the key to the regular season victories for the Pistons here at MSG, where they went 2-0, it was always about a strong start. Inside Anunoby, good pass from Hart. Tough layup is good off glass with his back to the rim. It's 4-2 Detroit. Anunoby, excellent effort on both ends on Saturday. 23 points, 3 offensive rebounds, and he put the clamps on Cunningham. Cade up top, threw it away. Pass inside was picked off by Brunson. Knicks from right to left. They can tie or take the lead. Hands to Bridges. Left wing three. Short. Almost filling on the backside, but Bridges starts the game 0 for 1.
The crowd already living and dying on shot opportunities.
Dunk attempt by Harris off the back rim, and a good contest from Josh Hart to force the miss. Knicks want to run. Anunoby corner three. In and out. Rebound tipped in by Bridges. We're tied at 4.
I think the paint is going to be so important in the course of this ball game, LT. As you watch already, the Pistons looking to attack with speed. They were the second best team in terms of fast break scoring over the course of the regular season.
Duren out high. From left to right go the Pistons. We're tied at 4. 2.5 minutes into the game. Thompson pulls up for a foul line jumper. Knicks will give him that all night. He missed it over Bridges, and Towns gets the rebound. Brunson now from right to left. Speeds inside and got trucked by Thompson at the top of the circle. And they'll call a foul on the young fella. And an extra loud round of applause from the fans here, who surely read the quote from Thompson saying that he didn't have much of an issue guarding Brunson, even though the stats would differ from Saturday.
Yes, that assignment looks so easy.
He did have a comment about how much Brunson, quote, sells fouls. All about perspective, and Brunson did have a game-high 10 foul shots in the opener.
Would you sell it if they're buying it?
Absolutely.
All right, then.
Brunson spins at the right elbow, leans in on Thompson, picked up his dribble, no-look pass is tipped out to Towns, left wing with 5 to shoot, defended by Harris, fakes a handoff, and he's got a clear lane, and a baseline drive leads to a righty jam, and the first Knick lead.
That's one way to get Karl Anthony Towns going, but just to elaborate a little bit, Coach Thibodeau did point out that you can't just judge someone's impact on a ball game by their field goal attempts. If Karl Anthony Towns is drawing double teams and making the right plays, then he's being effective. And that dunk and finish on the left side baseline is a right play indeed.
Yeah, he was about to hand off to Anunoby. Harris and Cunningham both bit and crashed on OG, and it was an open near side baseline drive for Towns. So after trailing 4-0, it's a 6-0 New York run. Duren on the right side, crosses over to the right block, driving on Towns. He's stopped in the lane, but he banks a tough shot home anyway to tie the game at 6.
Remember, game 1, Jalen Duren had 3 lane violations called against him. He had 3 fouls early in the ballgame and only had 7 points. Without Isaiah Stewart, there's more pressure on him to be impactful at the scoring column.
And Duren was second in the league in 3-second violations, behind only Brook Lopez. Brunson jumped to pass at the free throw line and paid for it. Misfired on the feed to the far sideline, out of bounds. He was hoping for Hart, but he got Tom Thibodeau instead. Knicks 6, Pistons 6. 8 minutes and 16 seconds to go in this first quarter. Certainly a back-and-forth affair early on Saturday. And the Pistons won the third quarter by 10 until the Knicks blew them out of the water in the fourth. J.B. Bickerstaff said we learned a lesson about what fourth quarters are like in the playoffs. And now Jalen Duren, a moving screen. He'll commit his first foul, and they cannot afford to get him in foul trouble today with no Isaiah Stewart.
J.B. Bickerstaff is trying to communicate something.
And it's actually Tim Hardaway with the foul, beg your pardon. So one on Hardaway, one on Thompson.
Yeah, and you know, that's interesting that the Knicks put Hardaway in the action.
Brunson, top of the arc, will knife inside. Thompson fell down, floater from Brunson. Good off the front rim. And the Knicks have an 8-6 lead, 4 minutes in.
Thompson pointing to the ground. The ball boys definitely going to get out here and wipe that up just to be sure.
It's like saying it's windy out here when you miss a shot.
Exactly like that.
Cunningham right elbow takes Bridges to the right block. Tough shot missed on a baseline leaner. Good defense from Mikal Bridges. Josh Hart wants to run. Knicks don't have numbers, but that's never mattered for Josh Hart. Almost threw it away and a kick out to the right wing, and he did throw it away. It's picked up by Harris, but no, he stepped out of bounds on the far sideline. Brunson got away with a push, but the Knicks will keep possession.
Lots of fun interactions pre-games with fans, honestly, from both sides of this matchup. Ran into Tobias Harris's dad, who was very jovial and friendly, but told me that the Knicks were not going to win this game.
Did he?
I said, okay, sir, respectfully, you enjoy yourself.
Well, if his son puts up 22 in the first half again, he might have an argument. Towns, top of the arc, zipped it to a cutting. Hart catches, drives, rejected at the rim by Duren. Hart wanted a foul. The block was clean, maybe some body contact. Cunningham on the move the other way. Hardaway right wing into the right corner. Tobias Harris nails a three in front of his dad, and it's 9-8 Detroit.
Yeah, he was terrific with those 4 threes that he knocked down in game 1. One thing I will add, though, in terms of his stat line, a lot of that damage was done in the first half. He basically was pretty quiet and non-existent in the fourth.
Yeah, only had 3 points after halftime. Brunson, bank shot is good from the far side block. It's 10-9 Knicks, 6:40 to go in the first. Last year in the first round, Tobias Harris, of course, a member of the 76ers. Knicks held him to just 9 points a game, and he played 36 minutes a night. He was essentially a non-factor, but they could not stop him in the first 2 quarters yesterday. Bridges strips Cunningham, but he got it back off the deck. Now into the right corner for Hardaway. Catch and shoot 3, too strong, and Towns gets the rebound. Hardaway and Brunson went crashing into the near sideline. Towns will take it ahead on Duren, who seals him off, threw up a tough shot and dropped it in. Towns wanted a foul, but he'll settle for a ridiculously tough floater from 15 feet near side, and the Knicks have a 3-point lead.
Karl-Anthony Towns' balance at his size is something that is so important to note. He's got great footwork as a 7-footer to be able to get that fadeaway to fall, absorb that contact, and be basically on 1 foot.
Knicks are hit with a delay of game warning. Pistons ball from left to right. They're in the white uniforms. Knicks in dark blue. Thompson got away with a travel backing into Hart. Maybe they say he was bobbling the ball. He regathered it and then hit a right-hand layup. It's a 1-point game.
Bobbling the ball is still a travel last time I checked, but okay.
5:49 to go in the first. Knicks by 1 with possession. Brunson driving, kick to the near corner. Anunoby for 3. No. Rebound is sealed off by Duren. Knicks have started 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Cunningham crosses over to the foul line, drives on Hart, banks home a righty layup, and the Pistons have a 13-12 lead, 5.5 to go in the first.
Paint points continue to be critical in this matchup. Pistons and Knicks both are tied actually with 10 points in the paint, but it feels like a far more deliberate move on the part of the Pistons than it's been on the Knicks so far.
Towns near side baseline, spins into the pan on Harris, now drop step back toward the baseline and a tough righty bank shot, and he points at Harris on his way back down the floor. Knicks up 1.
If that is going to be the matchup, the Knicks need to go nowhere else but to Karl-Anthony Towns until the Pistons do something different defensively.
6 points, he hasn't missed a shot yet. Cunningham leans in from the right side, gets a friendly roll off the back rim with an 8-foot jump shot down low. It's 15-14 Detroit. Mitchell Robinson about to check in. Just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bridges far side corner out to the right wing for Hart. Pass inside to Bridges, who catches and hits a reverse layup in midair. Call that an alley-oop with some flair. And Bridges goes to the bench staring at his hand in awe as J.B. Bickerstaff calls timeout. It's 16-15 Knicks with 4:49 to go in the first.
The Knicks have done a really good job of moving without the basketball. They've gotten 2 backdoor cuts on the right side of the floor right in front of the Knicks bench, and they've been able to cash in.
For over 160 years, individuals and businesses from Montauk to Manhattan have trusted Dime for all their banking needs. Visit Dime.com for more information. Dime, we've got your bank. Member FDIC. 6 from Towns, 4 from Bridges and Brunson. And the Knicks have a 16-15 lead on the Pistons with 4:49 to go in the first quarter. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Los Angeles Lakers Governor Jeannie Buss sat down for a 3-hour discussion with Rob Perez and Antonio Daniels on SiriusXM NBA Radio.
I've never articulated this before. This is something you have to see in person. Luka does these things that you're like, where did that come from? Where did he come up with that? Teaming him with LeBron, and it's so exciting to watch.
Hear the full interview with Jeannie Buss whenever you want with the SiriusXM.
What's up, up, hockey fans and basketball fans from all over the world? Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Another night of our Toronto Sports Insider and SickKids Hospital Playoff Pulse campaign. We are live for 7 streams tonight. Every single NHL game and every single NBA game, so we thank you for being here. Now, let's get the normal YouTube stuff out of the way. The insiders are already ready in the chat, firing it up. Mr. Roboto, Brandon Berardo, Lisa Aiello, The Burninator, Big Hawk. Oh yeah, it's party time here on TSI. Now we've got to get back to the hockey and the basketball, but please hit that like button, share this link out, hit the subscribe button if you're new. We just passed 95,000 on our way to 100K. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for making a difference with SickKids Hospital. And oh yeah, if you wanted to directly donate right now, click the link that's pinned in the chat. It's going to take you to our page over at SickKids Hospital. Go Leafs, go. Good luck to your team. We'll see you back in the chat.
Time on the SiriusXM app. For a complete schedule of games, go to SiriusXM.com/sports.
Back and forth we go yet again. Detroit and New York, 16-15. Knicks lead the Pistons with 4:49 to go in the first quarter. The owner of free throws promotion is sponsored by Chumba Casino. We can't give you an owner of free throws for this evening, but on Saturday it was Jalen Brunson, a game-high 10 attempts. He was 8 of 10. That's your owner of free throws, brought to you by Chumba Casino, where any moment can be your moment with free daily login bonuses. Hundreds of online social casino-style games and serious prizes. Turn your free time into a good time with Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older. Terms and conditions apply. Monica, what's your takeaway from the first 7+ minutes of that first quarter?
This is about what I expected. Listen, the Pistons, as we've seen during the regular season, match up well with the Knicks. And so we talked about a pregame. I expected a half similar to what we saw in the first half yesterday. Although I am thrilled to see Karl Anthony Towns being aggressive as a scorer, taking advantage of his mismatches so far.
He's the only non-starter on the bench at the moment. Mitchell Robinson comes in for him. Dennis Schroeder some early minutes in this first quarter. Malik Beasley and Paul Reed come in, and Reed misses a reverse layup, so he's going to be the backup big in place of Isaiah Stewart. Knicks on the other end. Bridges for 3. Back rim from the left wing. Long rebound to midcourt for Harris. Pistons have numbers from left to right, but Bridges reaches in and strips Harris in the paint, but then his bounce pass ahead to Brunson skipped too low along the hardwood all the way down out of bounds left baseline, and Detroit will take over. A couple of great defensive possessions to start things from Mikal Bridges.
One thing to note for the Knicks, though, they've got 16 points. 14 of those points have been scored by Towns, Bridges, and Brunson. Oh my, 7 of 9 from the field is that trio.
You did not sell the Lions and Tigers and Bears vibe.
Because I was, okay, all right, you're right. I was more excited in the break.
Cunningham stepped back from the far block. That one's good off the front rim and in. He's making some tough shots early. Cunningham is 3 of 5. 6 points. It's 17-16 Detroit.
One thing right now, I feel like this pace is benefiting the Pistons a little bit more than it is the Knicks. Although Tom Thibodeau has been careful to point out that this team doesn't necessarily want to play slow either.
8 lead changes in 8 minutes. Josh Hart, right elbow jumper, short. Rebound Cunningham. Neither team is led by more than 4. It's Tobias Harris on the right wing. Dishes to the right corner for Schroeder. He'll launch a 3. Rimmed out, and Brunson gets the board. Knicks in a hurry from right to left. Brunson across midcourt. Keeps going coast to coast. Left block. Turns. Pump fake. Out to Hart near wing. 14 to shoot. Looking to get it to Brunson, but he's locked up by Harris. No foul call. Hart baseline drive. Picks up his dribble. Out to the far wing for Anunoby. He'll catch and drive past Cunningham. Now a step back far. Baseline 2 is off the back rim. And the Knicks are being forced into tough shots lately. Long outlet to Cunningham. Goes coast to coast and lays it in around Bridges. It's 19-16 Detroit. 3 minutes to go in the first.
I think the Knicks have to look to play a little bit more downhill. The threes aren't falling right now, and the mid-range has not exactly been effective, but if they can get in the paint, they've had good luck.
Yeah, they're 0 of 6 from long range. Brunson does get in the paint, pulls up for 2. Didn't get the roll. That one was halfway down for the near side mid-post, but it popped free at the last minute. 2.5 to go in the first. Cade Cunningham catches out high, dishes inside to Paul Reed, who dropped it. Came loose to Brunson. He'll pick up the loose ball. Here come the Knicks. Threads the needle to Bridges, and a 2-hand jam gets the crowd going. 19-18 Detroit. Paul Reed has 2 touches so far in his first game of the playoffs. 1 missed layup and 1 drop pass.
D-ball Paul, you'll remember him from the series with Philadelphia as well last year.
Tobias Harris, far side mid-range, spins toward the baseline. Now he's posting up Josh Hart. Leans in and nails a left elbow jumper to put the Pistons back up by 3. It's 21-18 with 2 minutes to go. And Paul Reed, I thought it was harmless. Last year he said the Sixers were glad they got the Knicks because they were an easier matchup than the eventual champion Boston Celtics. But naturally, Knicks fans let him have it when the Knicks won the series. Bridges for 3, in and out from the far side corner. They're going to drop eventually, but they're 0 for 7 from long range. Cunningham in the paint, runs over Brunson, but they call a blocking foul. Fortunately, the Cunningham runners spun off the rim, so no 3-point play. And it'll bring us to immediate timeout. And Brunson maybe leaning a bit when the contact came. There will be immediate timeout, so maybe a brief moment for the Knicks to consider challenging. 21-18, they trail. 99 seconds to go in the first, and Tom Thibodeau will challenge the block charge call.
Oh, I don't know about that, Tyler. I know it's the playoffs, so I'm not going to waffle in this one. I don't know that I would have challenged that one.
They do have the best group in the league at getting challenges right. They're 42-11 in the regular season.
30 seconds of the mandatory timeout beginning. New York has the right to challenge the previous foul, which they have. The play is now under review. The mandatory timeout continues.
Total Ortho Express is a state-of-the-art orthopedic care center with 4 Long Island locations. They're open 7 days a week with extended hours, so their patients have convenient and immediate access to the care they need. Learn more at TotalOrthoExpress.com.
I think Jalen Brunson is going to be penalized for moving this right foot. And therefore, he's not set. He's in the right position, not far away from the restricted area, all that good stuff. But I don't think that he's set on this one.
We will take a break while they take a look. Pistons by 3, and if the challenge is not successful, Cunningham will get 2 free throws. 1:39 to go in the first quarter. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Hey, basketball fans, ready for the NBA playoffs? Get in on the action throughout basketball's most exciting time of the year with BetMGM, an authorized gaming operator of the NBA. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York and New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days. Gambling problem? In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Total Ortho Express is a state-of-the-art orthopedic care center with 4 Long Island locations: East Meadow, Syosset, Massapequa, and Deer Park. Injuries can happen at any time and can often require immediate attention. Total Ortho Express provides immediate walk-in orthopedic care from highly awarded specialists and surgeons, instead of waiting in an emergency room or a general urgent care. Total Ortho Express is open 7 days a week with extended hours so that our patients have convenient and immediate access to the care they need. Learn more at TotalOrthoExpress.com.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
It's a successful challenge for the Knicks. We'll tell you about it after we pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Hey, this is Brian Geltzeiler. Wake up early with me in 2007 NBA Coach of the Year Sam Mitchell every Saturday morning from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern as we break down everything NBA on Channel 86.
It is a charge on Cade Cunningham. Apparently, Brunson gave him enough time to get out of the way, and he could not. Meanwhile, Cam Payne commits an offensive foul on the other end. He and Mitchell Robinson were trying to go for a dribble handoff, but Payne ran over Malik Beasley. The 5 on the floor for Tom Thibodeau. is Cam Payne, Deuce McBride, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Mitchell Robinson. Cunningham crosses over Anunoby, gets to the foul line, spins in the lane, stripped by a couple of Knicks. It's out of bounds off of who? It's going to be Knicks ball. Three officials looked at each other, and the call went New York's way.
So let's run it back a little bit. Yes. I'm proud to be wrong on the charge block call. Goes in favor of the Knicks, and to your point, 43-11 now for this terrific squad on challenge opportunities.
Yeah, I thought when that call on the floor was a block, it would be hard to overturn, but apparently they saw enough evidence. 6 turnovers for Detroit, by the way, in the first 11 minutes of the game. Deuce McBride pulls up for 2, misses a left elbow jumper off the back rim, hoping for his first bucket of the postseason. And a long outlet from Cunningham underneath the hoop to Duren leads to a good hard foul from Cam Payne to prevent an easy layup and send a struggling foul shooter to the line in Jalen Duren.
All right, so here's the deal, though. That's 2 quick ones on Cameron Payne, and I think that is going to be a little bit problematic. Landry Shamet is at the scores table to check in. Now, his usual rotation, though, is for Mikal Bridges, but Payne, who Tom Thibodeau called a spark, so far in this one, spark needs to be sort of rerouted back to the positive.
You do like to see Mikal Bridges staying out there with this group. If you get him rolling, you can really elevate the ceiling of this team, as Bridges will check out for Landry Shamet. Shamet had 2 points on a baseline cut in 10 minutes on Saturday. Well, Duren, after I said he was a struggling free throw shooter, makes both. He's at 67% for the year, which is 10% down from a year ago. Those, in fact, are the first free throws of the ballgame. 5-point Piston lead, 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Landry Shamet threw it away. They're running a play for Anunoby. Came off a screen at the top of the key, but then kept cutting to the basket, and the ball went out of bounds near sideline. Knicks just a little bit disjointed to start this one, between some errant turnovers and then just and shot selection has not been bad. They've just not been able to connect from anything outside of the paint, really. And they're so good at points off turnovers, but they've only turned the 6 takeaways to 4 points. Pull-up jumper missed by Cunningham. Duren tried to tip it home, but it winds up in the hands of Mitchell Robinson. From right to left go the Knicks. Cam Payne, as the crowd swells, thought about stepping into a 3. Drives instead, got poked away. It's out of bounds off of Duren. And the Knicks will inbound from the left baseline with 14 to shoot and 20 to play. Knicks are fortunate that that one's out of bounds off of Duren. Cameron Payne was attacking on the right side of the floor, but Mitchell Robinson is sort of in the center of the paint. There's just not enough room, right? You end up going into a crowd, and they're fortunate that that ball is batted off of the fingertips of Jalen Duren, because that was near another turnover for the Knicks, who already have 4 so far in this one. Karl Anthony Towns will come into the game for Deuce McBride. No, OG Anunoby was pointing at one guy, but then eventually the other. And Anunoby went to the bench, and to coincide with that move, Tobias Harris will come into the game. Ron Holland is out there as well for Detroit, the 19-year-old defensive specialist rookie. And Malik Beasley's coming out. Harris will guard Karl Anthony Towns. That's why he came into the game. Inbound from the left baseline for Payne. Trying to get it into Robinson. He will on the far side corner. Hands back to Payne. Pick and roll. Payne lost his balance. Dove on the ball to get it at the right elbow. From his rear end, rolls it over to McBride. He'll take a far corner 3. In and out. Rebound Robinson. 7 left to play in this first quarter. McBride got stripped by Harris. It's off his leg, out of bounds. This is frenetic. And you've heard me say activity should not be confused for productivity. The Knicks, you know, I'm a big breathing exercise girl. I don't know if you knew that, but now you do. I do. 1, 2, 3, breathe. Like, they got to settle down a bit, and they are fortunate that they're only 5.7 seconds away from the end of the quarter to do just that. Is that an advanced level breathing exercise? Box breathing? The 1, 2, 3 breathe. Is that kind of beginner? I'm kind of coaching you in through box breathing, but anyway. Okay, good. All right, we'll start there. 3 seconds left in the first quarter. Cunningham picked up his dribble. Schroeder went down hard at midcourt. Whistle blows. Everybody's looking around here. I think Cam Payne's going to get called for a foul, which would be his 3rd. Fans see a look at the video board, and maybe it's a bit of an acting job from Schroeder. Cam Payne is giving the flopping signal. I think they're going to call this foul on OG Anunoby, who was just double-teaming Cade Cunningham. He wanted nothing to do with Schroeder, who just kind of fell off the ball and skidded 10 feet to wind up at midcourt. So in the replay, there's OG Anunoby's right arm goes up and Dennis Schroeder goes down. But as I'm looking at this replay, I don't think
Wait a minute. Is it on OG Anunoby or Campaign?
They just changed it to Campaign.
Both of them look like they barely touched Dennis Schroeder, though, is my point.
Yeah. 1.9 on the game clock, and Schroeder makes the first free throw. Of course, that was the fifth team foul on the Knicks in the quarter, so it sends them right to the line, which is what they call motive in the flopping investigation game. The Pistons have only committed one foul of their own. They were in major foul trouble in game one. Asar Thompson and Isaiah Stewart both had 5. Jalen Duren had 4. As Schroeder hits the foul shot to make it a 7-point Pistons lead. They're on a 10-2 run, and Payne could not get the heave off in time from midcourt as the horn sounds heading to the second quarter. Tom Thibodeau walks out to the court and has a few choice words for the officiating crew. But the Knicks are down 25-18, heading to quarter number 2 in game number 2 of the opening round of the NBA playoffs. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
It's an NBA playoff doubleheader, and it all starts in New York. Game 2 between the Knicks and Pistons beginning at 7:30 Eastern. That will be followed by Game 2 between the Nuggets and Clippers. Both games airing on your home for the NBA playoffs. Sirius XM's NBA Radio, Channel 86, and on the Sirius XM app.
Los Angeles Lakers Governor Jeannie Buss sat down for a 3-hour discussion with Rob Perez and Antonio Daniels on SiriusXM NBA Radio.
I've never articulated this before. This is something you have to see in person. Luka does these things that you're like, where did that come from? Where did he come up with that? Teaming him with LeBron, and it's so exciting to watch.
Hear the full interview with Jeannie Buss whenever you want with the SiriusXM app. Just search NBA Radio.
The first place to talk hoops every weekday morning is The Starting Lineup with Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine.
Overrated? Do you watch the guy play? He's unstoppable.
They're breaking down all the latest from the association.
I think he's a baller, and I think people would give up assets to get a guy like that.
Along with some laughs.
Kevin Durant, you need to get married and be miserable like the rest of us. Reprimanding the fans for booing. It's like, come on, man.
The Starting Lineup, weekday mornings from 7 to 10 Eastern. Only on SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the SiriusXM app.
This is Dave LaGreca, creator of the biggest pro wrestling show on the planet, Busted Open. Don't miss myself and my Hall of Fame cast and crew as we break down every story in and out of the ring and talk to the top names in the business, like the legend himself, The Undertaker.
I'm actually glad to be on a real show.
Catch Busted Open live every day from 9 to noon Eastern on SiriusXM Fight Nation, channel 156, and on the SiriusXM app.
Well, an interesting first quarter for the Knicks, who, to a man, after Saturday's win in a Sunday media availability, said that momentum doesn't really carry over in the playoffs. They had to reset, score 0-0, and almost pretend the series was 0-0 heading into tonight. And the Knicks turned out to be right, because their fourth quarter efficiency has not continued from game 1 here to the opening quarter of game 2. They were 0 for 8 from downtown. Maybe they should feel lucky. They're only down by 7. It's 25-18.
So counterpoint to that, and I was actually asked about this earlier today on Don Hahn and Rosenberg with our esteemed colleague Alan Hahn about carryover. And I actually thought the carryover was more likely, which we've seen in the first quarter, for the Detroit Pistons. A young, scrappy group, any hooper, whether you're at the NBA level or still in elementary school, if you're serious about it and you catch an L, you want nothing more than the opportunity to run it back and correct your mistakes. And to me, that's the way that the Pistons came out in this ballgame. Cade Cunningham, we said it, he would figure out how to adjust. He finishes the first quarter with 8 points and 6 rebounds. Hasn't gotten involved as much in the assist column, but he seems to be finding his way through this Knicks defense tonight.
So when I think carryover, I think whoever played well at the end of game 1 should play well at the beginning of game 2. You're thinking more of a mentality.
100%.
Gotcha.
I'm thinking of, if we're still in that ballgame, 5th quarter.
Oh, interesting. So good thing Detroit did not force overtime in game 1. Knicks lineup out of the between quarter break is Cam Payne, Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet, and then the double bigs, Karl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. They were a +2 in 9 minutes on Saturday. Malik Beasley up top. He'll catch and shoot a 3. That's in and out. Offensive rebound, Duren. He had 5 of them in game 1. Out to the left wing for Tobias Harris. He back rimmed to three. This rebound grabbed by Deuce McBride.
Now, even though the Knicks shot 0-8 in that first quarter, the Pistons shot 1 of 3 from the three-point line.
Oh, McBride steps through Schroeder after a pump fake at the free throw line, and he puts home his first bucket of the playoffs. Knicks needed that one. They're back within 5. Schroeder crosses over McBride, drives inside, layup blocked, but a goaltend as Towns swatted it off the backboard. It's 27-20 Pistons, 45 seconds into the second quarter.
I'll take the goaltend versus a foul call, as Dennis Schroeder has seemed to have a knack to get the whistle to blow in his favor today.
He had a real impact in the third quarter in game 1. Had a layup, hit a 3, then a block, a steal, and an assist. And at that point, it was a 9-point Pistons lead, but they could not hold it. Near side, mid-range, Towns posting up Harris, 7 on the shot clock. Spins toward the baseline, pulls up for a tough 2. Back rim, rebound snatched by Robinson. Kick out to McBride, right wing, double team, gets rid of it to Payne up top. Pump fake and a drive down the lane, threw it up for an alley-oop, and it's tipped around and out by Robinson. Impressive just to get a fingertip on that, and it almost dropped in.
Payne lost his footing a little bit, so that oop was a little high, just out of the reach of Robinson to be able to dunk it.
Beasley for 3 off a dribble handoff out high. Knicks couldn't fight through the screen. It's a 10-point Pistons lead. It's their largest advantage of the game and of the series, 30-20. McBride left wing. Towns posting up Harris near side baseline. Duran looking on a double team. Now he drops off. Towns backing down Harris. Takes him into the middle of the paint. Steps through. Righty jump hook is good. Karl Anthony Towns is 4 of 5 from the floor. And he's got a game-high 8 points.
Keep going to that matchup. The previous possession, Dennis Schroeder looked as if he was going to double team, but did not. If they don't send a double, and even if they do, I trust Towns' decision-making.
Pistons ball, they're up by 8 as they go from left to right. Left side pick and roll, Schroeder and Duran. Schroeder had McBride on his hip, pulls up for 2. It rattles in and out, and Robinson pulls down the rebound. And it is rebound number 5 for Mitch. Towns up top, thought about a logo 3, pump fakes, and now attacks the left elbow. Got fouled before the shot by Harris. It didn't go in anyway as Harris picks up his first foul. And it's Pistons 30, Knicks 22 with 9:37 to go in the second quarter. Campaign coming out for Jalen Brunson.
You could hear this crowd reacting to each point of contact, we'll call it, on the dribble penetration, as Tobias Harris was trying to stand his ground, but Karl Anthony Towns obviously has a right to the spot as well. Eventually, you get a whistle, but there were quite a couple of opportunities for the whistle to blow.
So Brunson, McBride, Shamet, and then Cat and Robinson. Towns near side mid-range, drives baseline on Harris, spins in the lane, righty jump hook short, rebound tipped by Robinson, and he got fouled, winning a new possession for the Knicks. We'll say that's on the floor, second foul of the quarter on Detroit. But the double big combo paying dividends, at least so far, on both ends.
Yeah, Ron Holland in there trying to go up against the 7-footer in Mitchell Robinson to no avail. Now, what I will say, though, is the Knicks got to really make sure this side is empty for Karl Anthony Towns to completely work.
Right wing 3 from Brunson. That's good. Stepped into it from the far side angle. It's the Knicks' first three-pointer tonight. They were 0 of 8. 5-point game. Harris up top. Drives right side off a Duran screen in the lane. Scores over Robinson. Tough finish from the right side of the rim. 7-point lead again. Josh Hart about to check in. Knicks ball from right to left. It's 32-25 Detroit. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. McBride starts the action now from the logo. Out of the top of the arc, it is Robinson. Dribbles and hands off to McBride. Sets a screen for him. They go pick and roll down the lane. McBride righty layup. Missed it. Good defense from Duran. Offensive rebound, Robinson. Brunson corner 3. Got another one. Jalen Brunson in front of the Knicks bench. Brings New York back within 4.
We've seen this from Jalen Brunson. Sometimes he goes out, gets that first break, then comes back, revved up and ready to go. 2 big threes.
Schroeder silences the crowd. A walk-up 3 from the left side angle. 35-28 Detroit. 8.5 to go before halftime. Brunson on the right wing again. Pick and roll with Robinson. Steps into a far corner 3. That one's short. Same spot, but a different result as Harris gets the board. Outlet to Beasley, right wing into the corner for Holland. Baseline drive around Towns. Took a hit, and they'll call the foul as Towns got him with the midsection. It was on a pass, though, so no free throws for Holland with 8:07 to go in the second. We'll see 2 former Villanova teammates come in, Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges.
So The Knicks have found their way a bit offensively, although they're still shooting less than 20% from three, with Jalen Brunson being the only guy that's been able to connect on 2 threes. But I think they've got to be mindful of making sure they match up off of makes and misses, quite frankly, because of the pace that the Pistons look to play with. It's going to be so important that this group continue to communicate, because you're now going back to one center with Karl Anthony Towns. Mitchell Robinson is now on the bench, but OG Anunoby is back on the floor. So you're essentially looking at the Knicks starting 5 versus most Dennis Schroeder's out on the floor, though, as is Paul Reed. But you've got Harris and Cunningham, who were huge to start the game for the Pistons.
Malik Beasley draws a foul on Bridges, pulling up quickly, a step inside the left elbow. Missed the shot very short, but Beasley will get 2 free throws. Bodega Cat Whiskey, a deliciously smooth rye whiskey founded by Mark Normand and Sam Morrill. Get 10% off your first order with promo code New York at bodegacatwhiskey.com, or grab a bottle at Greenpoint Wine and Liquor.
Man, the tale of 2 games in a series. The three-point shooting, it's been rough all around tonight.
The Pistons,
not so bad, though. You're right. 42% from them, but it's not as torrid as it was in Game 1, that's for sure.
Yeah, up until the fourth quarter collapse, if you can call it that, for Detroit, they were at 50% from downtown. They were 10 of their first 20. Beasley got both free throws, so it's a 9-point Pistons lead. And despite the 2 3-pointers from Jalen Brunson, the Knicks are down 9. Back to Brunson on the right wing. He drives past Schroeder, 2 steps in the lane, pulls up for a far side mid-post 2, but it misses off the front rim. 37-28 Detroit. They go from left to right. Wide open right corner 3 from Malik Beasley. Can't hit. Rebound tipped in by a soaring Paul Reed, but Harris will actually get credit for it.
We just talked about that, though, Tyler, in terms of the Knicks paying attention and being able to match up. They're lucky Beasley doesn't hit that 3, but it's still a wide open look.
Towns holds the ball high with his right hand, top of the key. Puts his back into Harris, spins at the circle, 2 steps in the lane. Good pass to Josh Hart, far corner, and he'll drive into the paint. Gets it to Bridges, far side baseline. That's his spot, and that's his shot. He nails it from 15 feet. Back to a 9-point game.
Really good job by Mikal Bridges to continue moving, and Josh Hart to find him.
Cade Cunningham walks into a left wing 3. He's got 11, 5 of 8 from downtown after going 8 for 21 in Game 1.
So basically, in the 2 games so far, it's pick which version of Cade Cunningham you'd rather deal with, because tonight he's been a far better scorer than he was to this point in Game 1.
Now Brunson is stripped by Reed on the far side. Long outlet stolen by Bridges. Ahead to Brunson. They've got numbers into a cutting Anunoby, who finds Hart with a right-hand jam, or Towns with a right-hand jam. It's a 9-point game. Whistle and a timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff. Reed made a great steal, but then threw it right back to Bridges. And maybe some momentum finally building for the Knicks. They're down 9 with 6:36 to go in the second.
It's the finish of that one that was my favorite part. OG Anunoby standing probably a 1.5 feet maybe away from Karl Anthony Towns, but he dishes this ball off. Cade Cunningham gets cleared out of the action because he goes for the block, and it's the Towns putback. It's a demonstration of the togetherness of this team, going from a good shot to a great shot.
Knicks basketball on ESPN New York is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. Pistons 41, Knicks 32. Not going to be easy tonight if the Knicks want a 2-0 series lead. 6:36 to go in the second quarter. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSD Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
This is Jalen Brunson. I'll be driving to my games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me the all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing too. Just mention that I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory, great deals, and all new and used vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at princetonjeeps.com and tell them Jalen sent you.
Stay in the game with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup options. The easy and secure way to grab your orders on your schedule. Whether you're hustling between work, home, or your game day spot, choose Amazon Locker or Counter for secure and convenient pickup. At checkout, simply select the pickup location that works best for you. Amazon Pickup is a slam dunk. It's the worry-free option, all at no extra cost. Find your nearest pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
To win the NBA Finals, everything needs to line up perfectly. No different than finding the person you want to marry. When the time comes to propose, well, do what I did. Visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers. They'll make shopping for a ring easy. Let them help you pick or design the perfect ring to fit any budget from their 2 by London collection. London Jewelers is committed to getting it just right. So visit London Jewelers today at any of their 6 locations, including Americana Manhasset and the mall at Short Hills. Mention I told you to stop by. You'll get the Michael K. treatment.
Get to your local Verizon store today to trade in any phone in any condition, guaranteed. And get a great deal on a new 5G phone with Unlimited Ultimate. With Monica McNutt, I'm Tyler Murray. Impressive start for the Pistons after what had to have been a deflating loss on Saturday when they coughed up an 8-point lead at the start of the fourth quarter. They're up by 9 right now, which was their largest lead at any point in Game 1. It's 41-32 Pistons with 6:36 to go in the second. And it's even more impressive when you consider that one of their engines on defense, Isaiah Stewart, was ruled out with a knee issue. They have held the Knicks to just 32 points in a quarter and a half.
Yeah, J.B. Bickerstaff said pregame it was just about closing, which is a simple statement, but that's a profound time in a ball game for sure.
They have added 1 point for Detroit. They changed one of their 2-pointers with a foot on the line to a 3-pointer. So 10-point Pistons lead. 6.5 to go before halftime. Right corner, Hardaway drives baseline, lobs a pass into Asar Thompson, tipped it underneath the hoop, catches, gets stripped by Hart, loose ball, picked up by Hart, and he draws a foul. He leads the league in collecting loose balls, and he just drew the 3rd foul in the quarter on Detroit. Asar Thompson will pick up his 2nd foul, and he was in foul trouble on Saturday as well. The Knicks started 0 for 8 from 3, and Brunson made 2 in a row and then missed the 3rd. So they're 2 for 11. Crowd trying to get themselves back in it. Knicks from right to left in the dark blue and orange. Pistons in white. Towns left alone, left wing. His 3 is blocked by basketball. Paul out of bounds near sideline. I'll tell you, he's filling in admirably for Beef Stew with just 6 on the shot clock now.
If Tom Thibodeau can refer to Cameron Payne as a spark, then B-Ball Paul has the potential to be a shock, right? Like, he's just one of those guys that plays with tremendous energy. He's earned his nickname because he's around the basketball, loves the game, obviously, and just makes basketball plays.
Brunson nails a step-back 3 from the right wing at the end of the shot clock. And they're not giving him any easy looks, but he's making them 13 points to lead all scorers. It's a 7-point game.
He's 3 of 4.
Cunningham crosses over Bridges, baseline drive into a reverse layup. It's back to a 9-point game. Anunoby inside, near mid-post. Backs down Cunningham, spins baseline, lost the handle, got it back. Now a double team from Paul Reed. Out to the wing, or it's stolen and saved by Thompson near sideline. It's Reed off to the races. Bounce pass was behind a cutting Bridges, or rather Beasley, and stolen by Bridges to midcourt for Brunson, and he's fouled by Reed. And we are seeing a player who has only played in 45 games this year, 10 minutes on average, so trying to work himself back into not just basketball shape, but trying to make a better decision or two as he'll come out of the game for Tobias Harris.
Well, this is the margins for role players, right? Like, he almost made a terrific play helping to lead toward the steal on the other end, but then he makes the pass that ultimately gives the ball back to the Knicks. Now, that's not the Knicks' problem, but there's a small window to make impact in a positive direction in order for him to stay on the floor.
Knicks ball attacking the basket to our left. 5:15 to go before halftime. Brunson high side wing defended by Harris this time. He dribbled it off his foot out of bounds.
So that's probably the first time that I've questioned the Harris matchup for Karl Anthony Towns, because if he's setting the screen, it's not a ton of advantage there for JB when he draws Harris.
Now Cunningham draws a foul on Anunoby with a baseline drive far side. Pulls up for two, and he missed it, but that's the first foul on OG. Mitchell Robinson coming in. It's 44-35 Pistons with 5:06 to go in the first half.
So turnovers were such a big part of the game in game one. So far, the Knicks have 8 turnovers. Detroit has 9 turnovers. Tyler, and as you look at the points off of those turnovers, the Knicks have given up 4. The Knicks do have 9 points off of the 9 turnovers by the Detroit Pistons, but right now, they've not been able to slow Cade Cunningham.
He hits the first free throw, so he's got a game-high 14. Brunson has 13. Towns comes out. Robinson comes in to join the rest of the starters. Brunson, Bridges, Hart, and Anunoby. Cunningham has 7 rebounds in this game.
But he has 0. That's what I thought. He has not assisted the ball yet, which I guess that speaks more to his role guys being able to get it going in terms of the shots, or he's just determined in his mind as he came into game 2 to be far more aggressive in the scoring category than he was in game 1.
And he turned it over 6 times in game 1. Did have 12 assists, though. Gets the free throws. Pistons by 11. Robinson in the lane. Double team. Threw it hard into the near side. It was tipped by Hart, but picked up by Cunningham. Pistons have the ball, the lead, and momentum. Left elbow spins on Hart. He's sealed off at the free throw line. Has to reset up top. Cunningham has a size advantage on Hart. He'll drive him to the right side of the paint. Leans in. Bank shot missed it short, but a late whistle and a foul call.
I understand why that is an aggravating call. Wow. And actually, is this one going to go against Hart or Anunoby? Yeah.
Wow, Anunoby's second foul.
So, yeah, if Josh Hart turns frustrated because I think he thought that one was going to be on him, which I would agree with that frustration. But OG Anunoby on the late help, he gets Cade Cunningham across his right arm. It's pretty much not much to argue there. But to the point of Cade Cunningham, who has not had an assist yet in this ballgame, the Pistons have hit 17 field goals. They only have 3 assists in this one. And so I am surprised, honestly, that they only have 7 points based on those numbers, that they only have 7 points off of the Knicks turnovers, because without assisting the Rockets, a lot of ISO ball, you would think that they've gotten out into transition and been able to score in the fast break, but they only have 7 fast break points.
Cunningham gets 2 more free throws. It's a 13-point Pistons lead, and Cade has 17. 4:23 left in the second quarter. Brunson and Bridges pick and pop on the high side wing. Hardaway defending Brunson, dribbles behind his back, now goes pick and roll with Robinson. Drives baseline. The Hart near corner. Over to Anunoby left wing. Tough catch, has to spin to the foul line. Drives down the lane on Cunningham, and it's a right-hand finger roll. It's an 11-point game.
That's just the second basket of the night for OG Anunoby, but it's good to see him finding his way in the lane. We know he's so terrific with his body control right in front of the rim.
He's 0 for 3 from downtown, 2 for 3 from inside the arc. Harris far corner to a cutting Thompson far block. In the middle of the paint, pulls up for 2, in and out over Bridges. Rebound tipped all the way to midcourt where it's picked up by Anunoby. He'll attack Cunningham, but got stopped inside. Out to Hart. He tried to chuck it to the far side for Brunson, and it's picked off by Harris. Hardaway for 3. That's too strong from the right wing, but Harris gets an offensive rebound. Cunningham, top of the key, knifes inside, layup, missed it. Good defense from Robinson. Rebound Anunoby, outlet to Bridges, 4-on-2 for the Knicks from right to left. Brunson right wing, jab step, in the lane, finds Hart, wide open near corner, 3. Hart connects. Josh Hart lets out a yell. He's 2 for 2 from downtown, and the Knicks are back within 8.
After going 0 for 8 from the three-point line, the Knicks have gone 4 for 6 in this second quarter.
His yell was at the official. He got hammered on the right forearm after releasing that shot. Should have been an and 1. Duran fouled by Robinson. He was too inspired perhaps by the defense chance. A rare miscue from Mitch reaching in, and he commits the 5th foul in the second quarter on the Knicks. So Jalen Duran will get free throws when we come back. 2:55 to go in the second quarter. It's Pistons 48, Knicks 40.
Before that Josh Hart 3, I was getting ready to take you through some box breathing exercises because they were flinging that basketball every which way but to an actual teammate. And it was all because the Knicks allowed the Pistons to speed them up. Great job of responding after a couple of frenetic possessions. A big-time 3 by Josh Hart. We know Josh Hart, the three-point shooter, can be a series changer.
8-point Pistons lead. The Knicks are favored to win this series. Doesn't mean they're favored to win every game going away. Going to be a grind again tonight. Down by 8. Final 3 minutes of the first half come your way next. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Los Angeles Lakers Governor Jeannie Buss sat down for a 3-hour discussion with Rob Perez and Antonio Daniels on SiriusXM NBA Radio.
I've never articulated this before. This is something you have to see in person. Luka does these things that you're like, where did that come from? Where did he come up with that? Teaming him with LeBron, and it's so exciting to watch.
Hear the full interview with Jeannie Buss whenever you want with the SiriusXM app. Just search NBA Radio.
The best place to get your basketball fix every weekday is Give and Go with Worldwide Wob, Rob Perez, and former NBA champion Antonio Daniels on NBA Radio.
If you got Steph, you got a chance.
Evan Mobley, his unicorn status is about to be unlocked.
They'll cover every story and talk to great guests across the association every afternoon.
NBA Hall of Famer Mike Breen.
Anything shy of certainly the finals would be a disappointment for the Celtics.
It's Give and Go, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, only on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the SiriusXM app.
Hello, Angel fans. My name is John, and that's my brother Mike.
And my name is Mike, and that's my brother John.
Together, we are the Super Halo Bros and the hosts of your daily Los Angeles Angels podcast, Locked On Angels, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Locked On Angels brings you the latest Angel news and analysis and breaks down all of the action. Locked On Angels is everything an Angel fan could want, all in a daily 30-minute podcast.
Download Locked On Angels right now on the SXM app, available with all trials and popular plans, or wherever you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Angels.
From dramatic walk-offs.
This ball is crushed into the trees. Grand slam.
To jaw-dropping web gems.
A diving catch over the shoulder by Johnson.
College softball and baseball are heating up, and you can catch the action on SiriusXM. Hear live play-by-play from the nation's top conferences and powerhouse programs all season long. Stay connected to the action on SiriusXM or streaming anytime on the SiriusXM app. For a complete schedule of games, go to SiriusXM.com/sports.
48-40, Pistons lead the Knicks, 2:55 to go in the second quarter. Maybe some momentum for New York at long last. They got a three-pointer from Josh Hart. Should have been a four-point play opportunity. But just before the immediate timeout, Mitchell Robinson reached in and fouled Jalen Duren, who's played very smart today. 15 minutes, no fouls, 6 points, and 5 rebounds. And he will get to the line as the Knicks will send out Brunson, Bridges, Hart, Anunoby, and Robinson. Towns has 10 points in 14 minutes and just 1 foul, but a well-deserved breather for now after carrying quite an offensive load back in Tobias Harris into the paint on seemingly every possession he had the ball. So Duren at the basket to our right, shooting 67% from the free throw line this year, but he made 2 earlier. First one is up and perfect. If you're just joining us, no Isaiah Stewart. He's got right knee inflammation. And on Saturday, he came out of the game early in the fourth quarter because of that same ailment. And you probably know what happened from there. The Knicks went on a 21-0 run. Duren goes 2 for 2, so he's made all 4 free throws. The Knicks have not missed a free throw on their end either, but they haven't taken one.
That's crazy. 12 of 12 are the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks have not gotten to the free throw line one time.
Both teams in the bonus for the rest of the half. 2:40 to go. It's 50-40 Pistons. Hart catches on the near side. Hart finds Brunson at the angle. He'll drive to the elbow, steps through a double team. Floater is good. A mile in the air over the leap of Duren. It drops straight through. It's an 8-point game.
The footwork by Jalen Brunson, the patience, the deceleration, the timing, all of the things that you mentioned on that arc, the beautiful arc of a shot. Woo!
That was ridiculous.
So impressive.
Dennis Schroeder rolled the ball across midcourt, now picks it up and finds Duren left elbow. Looking for a dribble handoff at the arc. Will get it to Cunningham, who turns the corner, drives to the foul line, whips a pass to the right corner for Harris. He missed a 3. Brunson was there. Hart with the rebound.
That was near Cade Cunningham's first assist.
Far corner, Bridges sealed off by Hardaway, finds Hart on the right wing. They post up, Bridges on Hardaway. 11 to shoot. Fans want Bridges to be aggressive. He turns into a fall away and gets the roll off the front rim. And then he points at Hardaway on his way back down the floor. 6-point game.
10 points now for Mikal Bridges, 5 of 8 from the field. He's been terrific in that mid-range on the right side.
He had just 8 all of Saturday. Pistons ball up by 6 from left to right. Schroeder pulls up for 2 and drills it from the far side mid-range. his second crowd-silencing shot of the night. He's played for 3 different teams this year, 20-plus games, Dennis Schroeder. Not afraid of the moment. Brunson turns the corner on him, missed a wide-open bank shot. He's asking for a foul on Schroeder, not getting it. Harris on the other end, backs down Bridges, middle of the paint. Up top, it's Cunningham. Catch and shoot 3. Short. He knew it the whole way. Raced after the rebound, but Anunoby sealed him off.
Pistons doing a good job of getting back before the Knicks can get back, but I would like to see the Knicks put some pressure on that.
Bridges for 3. Right when they need it, Mikal Bridges has found the range. Corner 3. It's a 5-point game.
Have some pressure on that by having somebody run the floor, and that's exactly what Mikal Bridges did. He ran down the lane of the paint and then floated out to the three-point line where he was cashed.
52-47. Cunningham in jail in the near corner, almost threw it away. Good defense from Hart. Now they go pick and pop. Harris and Cunningham. Cade catches, drives through a foul, and he missed a shot off the side of the backboard. They say it was a foot foul on Josh Hart, I believe, who reached in on help defense, the inverse of what we saw earlier in the quarter. Good defense from Anunoby on ball, but a help reach in by Hart.
I mean, yeah, that's a tough one, and it's annoying, but it is a foul, as New York has been on a 12-4 run here to help close this gap.
Now, the refs are going to hear it because the angle on the video board showed a clean strip from Hart. It cut him off at the waist as Cunningham misses the free throw. But he did make foot-to-foot contact with Cunningham, and that's when he fell over.
Do you think that was intentionally done or the only angle available to show on the Jumbotron?
They have a lot of camera angles there, Monica. It's Madison Square Garden.
I was just asking. You know, maybe perhaps something happened to that camera.
Perhaps. But anything to get these Knicks fans on their feet as Cunningham gets 1 of 2. It's a 6-point lead for Detroit with half a minute to go in the second quarter. Brunson across midcourt from right to left, backing down Schroeder. He's got 15 first-half points. Fans rise to their feet. Brunson still in post mode. Far side elbow, and he draws a foul on Schroeder to the delight of the crowd. That's number 5, which means free throws number 1 and 2 coming up for Jalen Brunson. The 5th foul in the quarter, of course. Schroeder himself still has just the 1.
10 seconds are on the shot clock when Jalen Brunson, doing what he does, puts the defense in a terrible position. And of course, Knicks score here. Brunson knocks down these free throws. Detroit will be able to hold it for the last shot of this second quarter if they so desire.
Brunson rattles home the first free throw. And after that foul call, Dennis Schroeder skipped down the court in frustration, and Brunson let out a bellow as if he had just hit a 3 or converted on an and 1. We'll get some MVP votes this year. The finalists have been announced, though. As he gets both ends of the foul shot, it's either going to be Giannis, Jokic, or SGA. 4-point game, 15 seconds left before halftime. Pistons will have the lead at the break, but it's been trimmed from 13 down to 4. Cunningham at the logo with 7. Drive to the right wing with 5. Crossover at the foul line with 3. Pulls up and hits a tough leaner. 2.6 on the clock. Inbound to Bridges at midcourt. Heave is up in time. Short. Right on line, but maybe a half foot too shy to send us to halftime with the Pistons leading 55-49. You have to love how that second quarter came to an end for the Knicks, minus that last Cunningham shot.
Yeah, it was a 12-4 run before they got to the free throw line, and so that would make it 14, and you give Cade Cunningham that last basket, 14-6, if you will, to finish the second quarter. Again, the offense will find its way for the Knicks. It's just a matter of their commitment on the defensive end. And tonight, we talked about this a lot at halftime in Game 1. Like, what do you want in terms of who's leading your way? In Game 1, it was Tobias Harris. Cade Cunningham has still been held under double digits. Tonight, not so much. He has 20 points, 7 rebounds, and is feeling good with this 6-point lead. And so the Knicks defense is going to have to slow that guy in the second half for sure.
We'll see if they get a little more luck in the whistle department, as they were out free throwed 14-2 in the first 2 quarters. Pat O'Keefe's prolific halftime coverage comes your way on the other side of the break. The Knicks trail the Pistons 55-49, leading a 1-0 in the series as Game 2 continues right around the corner. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Attention Knicks fans! Looking for infusion care that puts you first? ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Trusted by physicians across specialties, ThriveWell offers private state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a ThriveWell location near you. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. That's ThriveWellInfusion.com. Saving lives drip by drip.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc., New York, New York.
Because growing a business keeps you on the go, we've got your bank. Because a steady cash flow is the lifeblood of your bottom line, we've got your bank. Because your workday simply doesn't stop at 5 o'clock, we've got your bank. Dime Community Bank gives you the digital tools you need to simplify your business banking, even deposit checks, anytime from anywhere. And we back our technology with a team that's always there, wherever business takes you. Visit Dime.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Not hungry right now? Think about a burger. Still not hungry? Think about a smash burger. Yeah, that's what we thought. Can you hear the sizzle of the griddle? Can you smell the Angus beef? Can you taste the charred perfection? The hunger's kicked in. The salivary glands have turned on like a spigot. It's time to make it yours. Go to smashburger.com to find the closest spot.
This is the Spectrum New York Knicks halftime show. Now, here's Pat O'Keefe.
Another tight one at Madison Square Garden here in game number 2. It's the Pistons leading at halftime this time around, 55-49. The Pistons have led by as many as 13 points. That's their largest lead of the entire series. The Knicks battling back in the latter minutes of that second quarter to make it a 6-point halftime deficit. And this is the New York Knicks halftime report brought to you by Spectrum. Well, Cade Cunningham, a little quiet in game number 1. Quiet in the fact that he had to attempt 21 shots to score 21 points. Much more efficient so far tonight. He leads all scorers in the game with 20. He's the only Piston in double figures, but they're getting a balanced attack. Outside of Cunningham's 20, they've got 9 apiece from Tobias Harris and Dennis Schroeder off the bench, while Jalen Durant, who was a non-factor in game 1, already with 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 block shots. The Knicks led by their Villanova backcourt, Jalen Brunson with 17, Mikal Bridges with 13. They have combined for 30 of the Knicks' 49 points so far, and that brings us to the best parts of the half, brought to you by Smashburger.
Bridges for 3. Right when they need it, Mikal Bridges has found the range. Corner 3, it's a 5-point game.
That made it 52-47 late in the second quarter after the Knicks had trailed by 13 points. Mikal Bridges, far more aggressive, looking for his shot tonight. In game 1, He scored 8 points and attempted 9 shots. Already tonight, he's attempted 10 shots and has 13 points. That was his only three-pointer of the first half. He's got the mid-range game going, and Mikal Bridges also has 3 steals. That was the best parts of the half, brought to you by Smashburger. With locations throughout the New York City area, Smashburger is ready to greet you with a variety of smash-to-order burgers, fries and sides, milkshakes, and more. To find your nearest location or to place an order today, visit smashburger.com. 55-49 is the halftime score. Pistons lead the Knicks. Knicks lead the series 1-0. Rep the orange and blue with the latest pieces from the Knicks playoff collection. Head to Knicks.com to shop now. Now, Mikal Bridges with those 13 first-half points, and he was a topic of conversation in between games 1 and 2. In game 1, Bridges was the only Knicks starter who did not score in double figures. He was strong on the defensive end, but not much of a factor offensively. So far tonight, we've seen a different version of Bridges. He's played 19 minutes so far already. His longtime teammate, Jalen Brunson, after practice yesterday, was asked if there is a playoff version of Bridges, like a playoff version of Jalen Brunson.
I mean, I feel like he's been a part of teams where they've made deep runs, and so I don't believe in like the playoff person, like a playoff Kale, Jalen, or whoever. I don't believe in that. I just think that if you're the type of player that steps up when it matters most, then that's who you are. And so there's no such thing as a playoff whatever. It's a cool nickname, but it's not a real thing, at least in my eyes.
Well, what we do know is that in the playoffs, in the fourth quarter, in a close game, that is usually Jalen Brunson time, and that was the case again in Game 1 on Saturday night. The Knicks went on that 21-0 run to flip the game in the fourth quarter. Brunson had 12 points, and he also handed out 3 assists. So 55-49 is the halftime score here tonight. It looks like we could be headed to another tight fourth quarter, so this could be relevant. As Tom Thibodeau was asked yesterday if he sees Jalen's mindset change when his team needs him most.
I don't know if it's that as much as, and that's what I love about him, is like he provides whatever the game needs. And so if it's scoring, more scoring, he'll do that. If it's playmaking, he can do that. If it's, taking a charge, a hustle play, he'll do that. He just, he's going to find ways to win, and that's what makes him who he is.
Brunson with 17 points and 4 assists in the first half. He had 34 points in game number 1 on Saturday night. It's been a slow start to the series off the bench for Deuce McBride. In game 1, he missed all 3 of his shot attempts. Tonight, he's 1 for 4. He did get free in the lane on a nice move and finish for his only basket of the game and his only basket of the series. But McBride, as the Knicks' top scorer coming off the bench all season long, is going to be important for them as they continue in these playoffs. Jalen Brunson was asked what he enjoys most when he plays alongside Deuce McBride.
The things Deuce is able to do on both sides of the ball are fantastic. I think we play very well off each other. The chemistry we've gotten over the last couple of years has definitely helped. If it's him or anyone else, I feel like when we're out there, we're going to have great chemistry, which I feel like this team does. And so, obviously, a lot of respect to Deuce and what he's able to do. But I think all of us have that effect on each other.
To Tom Thibodeau's points about Jalen Brunson a moment ago, that when the team does need him the most, he is able to deliver. On Saturday night, he started the game shooting 2 for 13, but the rest of the way, he hit 10 of his 14 shots, scoring 23 of his 34 points after halftime. So as we head towards what could be another close fourth quarter tonight with the Knicks trailing by 6 here at halftime, is there something that Brunson relishes about the fourth quarter?
Whatever it takes to win. And I don't really think about it that way. I just know that it's time where truly everything counts, truly everything matters. And so, not really, just the last 12 minutes of the game.
Use our bar takeover to find out where to watch Game 3 with fellow fans across the tri-state. Head to Knicks.com to learn more. Halftime here at Madison Square Garden of game number 2, and the Pistons lead the Knicks 55-49. Karl Anthony Towns, the third Knick in double figures in the first half with 10 points, although he only has 2 rebounds so far. A quieter start for OG Anunoby. He has 4. Josh Hart has 3. And the Knicks have only gotten 2 points off the bench, those courtesy of Deuce McBride. JB Bickerstaff, the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, his first year in that role. Now, he's been head coach in the NBA at 4 different stops, Memphis and Houston, Cleveland most recently, before coming here to Detroit. He has recent history in the playoffs. This is his 3rd consecutive year in the postseason. 2 years ago, if you remember, when he was the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, they met the Knicks in the first round of the playoffs. It was the 4-5 matchup, and the Knicks physically dominated the Cavs, winning that series in 5 games. Last year, Bickerstaff led the Cavs to the second round of the playoffs before they lost to the Celtics, and now here in Detroit, he is back in the postseason. He grew up in the game. His father, Bernie Bickerstaff, was a longtime executive and head coach in the NBA, and JB was asked before the game when he realized the difference between the intensity of the regular season and the postseason.
You know, for me, I grew up in it. You know what I mean? So, like, sitting there being a ball boy for a regular season game versus being a ball boy for a playoff game, even that was different. So, it is different. But, again, you do have to experience it. You know, we showed guys filmed, had the conversation and all those things. But, I always make this, analogy, it's like, I tell my kids stuff all the time, right? And they look at me like I'm crazy. And then they go out and do the dumb stuff that I told them not to do. And then they realize, oh, that was dumb, right? So it's similar to that, right? Like, we have the conversations, we talk about it, but it is one of those things that you just have to experience.
Halftime here at the Garden. That was Pistons head coach JB Bickerstaff. His team leads 55-49. They've led by as many as 13 points. They've led most of the way. And the second half is indeed coming up. That was the New York Knicks halftime report, brought to you by Spectrum, a fast and reliable connection backed by a 100% U.S.-based workforce. So you get the best customer service experience possible. Spectrum, second half coming up from Madison Square Garden with Tyler Murray and Monica McNutt. I'll be back with you on the postgame show. The Knicks trailed the Pistons in Game 2, 55-49. And you're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This has been the Spectrum New York Knicks halftime show. The second half is coming right up. Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
It's an NBA playoff doubleheader, and it all starts in New York. Game 2 between the Knicks and Pistons beginning at 7:30 Eastern. That will be followed by Game 2 between the Nuggets and Clippers. Both games airing on your home for the NBA playoffs, Sirius XM's NBA Radio, Channel 86, and on the Sirius XM app.
Los Angeles Lakers Governor Jeannie Buss sat down for a 3-hour discussion with Rob Perez and Antonio Daniels on Sirius XM NBA Radio.
I've never articulated this before. This is something you have to see in person. Luka does these things that you're like, where did that come from? Where did he come up with that? Teaming him with LeBron, and it's so exciting to watch.
Hear the full interview with Jeannie Buss whenever you want with the Sirius XM app. Just search NBA Radio.
The first place to talk hoops every weekday morning is The Starting Lineup with Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine.
Overrated? Do you watch the guy play? He's unstoppable.
They're breaking down all the latest from the association.
I think he's a baller, and I think people would give up assets to get a guy like that.
Along with some laughs.
Kevin Durant, you need to get married and be miserable like the rest of us. Reprimanding the fans for booing. It's like, come on, man.
The Starting Lineup, weekday mornings from 7 to 10 Eastern. Only on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the Sirius XM app.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody! This is Steve Phillips from the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio. Join me and former Major League Baseball players Eduardo Perez and Xavier Scruggs as we react to all the latest news and scores across baseball and have plenty of fun along the way.
Steve, you were so right about that.
I don't know if anybody else thinks we're funny, but I think we're funny.
Why are you putting us or we into this?
The leadoff spot, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the Sirius XM app.
Getting ready for the second half. Knicks and Pistons live at Madison Square Garden. as the Knicks will have to pull off another second-half comeback if they want to take a 2-0 series lead heading to Detroit for Game 3 on Thursday. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Start of the second half is brought to you by Tullamore Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the all-new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. With Monica McNutt, I'm Tyler Murray. Ray Santiago is our producer, and Gary Jeffries, our engineer. As a late second quarter burst from Mikal Bridges really kept the Knicks within striking distance. They were down by 13. He had a couple of shots, including a three-pointer, brought it back to 4 before a late bucket by Cade Cunningham got the Pistons lead to where it is now, 55-49. Monica, anything in particular you can see as a potential key to a comeback for the Knicks in the second half?
I mean, this is broad, Tyler, so bear with me, but I'm just going to say defending, period, right? Like, Cade Cunningham, it's been a little too easy in my mind for him to get back and forth to the paint, to his shots. I mean, he's not a big off of the dribble three kind of guy, but he's got a couple off the dribble threes tonight, so he's just in rhythm. You've got to figure out a way to be more disruptive to him. And then if you bother the head of the snake, I think the rest of the body will follow.
Yeah, Cunningham at 21 all of game 1, but already 20 here tonight. Hardaway wide open three, missed it from the left wing. Good play, but they couldn't finish. And the Knicks bring it up from left to right. Starting five is out there, of course. Brunson, Bridges, Hart, Anunoby, and Towns. Knicks in dark blue and orange. Pistons in mostly white with red trim. Brunson right elbow leans in, got hit by Duren. No foul call. He has somehow avoided any foul calls the entire game. Outlet to Cunningham at midcourt. Over to Hardaway, right corner three-pointer. This one misses as well, and Hart gets the rebound. That was a story in some ways in the first half. The Pistons got 12 free throws before the Knicks got 1.
That's a big-time story, a big-time footnote.
I hate to harp on officiating, but we're not the only ones if you check out the local beat reporters. Towns tried a hook pass. It was tipped away by Duren, who came over on a double team from the far side elbow. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Knicks, but just 6 to shoot.
I don't think that is harping on officiating. I think that's a poignant observation to the tenor and cadence of this ballgame.
It's poignant from a Knicks fan perspective, that's for sure. Inbound comes to Hart. Handoff to Brunson on the left wing. Only 3 to shoot, so he has to launch a triple. Almost knocked it down from the left wing. It's rebounded by Duren. Cunningham slowly across midcourt, now quickly drives baseline, step back 2 over Towns. That good from 11 feet. It's a 57-49 Pistons lead as Detroit strikes first in the second half. So Cunningham, if you've watched him all year, it shouldn't come as any surprise. He so rarely had back-to-back off nights. 8 for 13 here this evening. He was 8 of 21 all of Saturday. Towns left wing triple, too strong. And Harris gets the rebound. Towns is 0 for 2 from 3 tonight. Harris, top of the arc, picked up by Bridges, brings him to the near side wing, crosses between his legs, and now picks up his dribble. Resets up top with Cunningham, defended by Anunoby, rejects the screen, drives left side, center of the paint, met by Towns, missed the layup. Good help defense from Karl Anthony Towns. Rebound Bridges across the timeline, left alone, left wing, he'll take the 3, and he knocks it down. Mikal Bridges is keeping the Knicks in this game right now. It's a 5-point game.
This is why you have a team in the nature of a series, right? This is a wholly different second game for Mikal Bridges from what it was in the first game.
Now on the defensive end, he locks up Cunningham, tipped out of bounds by Anunoby, creeping in from behind. It'll stay with Detroit, 11 on the shot clock. Bridges 8 points on 4 of 9 shooting all of Saturday. He's got 16 tonight, 7 of 11 from the field, and they've needed every one of them. Inbound stolen by Bridges, tipped it ahead, race to the front court with Duren. He wins it, got bumped over. They ought to call a foul here, but they do not. It's clean out of bounds off of Bridges with 7 on the shot clock. And they're going to change the call and say it's Knick basketball. You figured the worst case scenario was Knicks ball if they weren't going to call the foul.
They got a foul.
They do call the foul on Duren. They were going to give that ball to Detroit, but then they say, never mind, it's a foul on Duren. At long last, he picks up his first.
I know we referenced a box breathing for the players, but maybe the officials need to settle down a little bit too. Although I'm glad that ultimately that one was adjudicated properly.
It's the first time all season I think I've said they should call a foul. So
wow, look at you go.
Glad the officials eventually agreed. Knicks ball from left to right. Hot hand Bridges with the ball, right elbow, finds Hart up top. Will drive down the middle of the lane on Hardaway. Tough layup, no, but a foul called. Duren came over and blocked it. And as you sometimes see the officiating has shifted a little bit since the halftime break.
A little bit of the conversation on behalf of the Knicks side seems to have steeped a little bit. Seeing a little bit of a result of that. Here's what I will say, though, too. I'm not going to pin all of the lack of free throws on the officiating. I think the Knicks have to be aggressive. You cannot continue to settle. Now, they have 28 points in the paint to this point, and at the half, I believe they had 24 points in the paint. But those paint points largely were created by 26, excuse me. Those paint points largely were created in transition. They actually had 28 points, so they have not scored a point in the paint in this second half.
You may have heard from the crowd reaction that Hart missed the first free throw, but the second one is perfect. It's a 4-point game, 57-53. Pistons lead the Knicks, 9:25 to go in the third quarter. Detroit won the first frame by 7 points. That's the difference right now. Knicks are up 2 in the third, and they won by 1 in the second. Hardaway up top. Drives past Brunson, who stumbled a bit. Floater from the foul line, missed. Offensive rebound. Asar Thompson missed a layup, but he got fouled by Towns. That's the second foul on Cat. And Asar Thompson, who shoots 64% from the line, will get 2 free throws. The rim presence, at the very least, from Karl Anthony Towns has been a lot more noticeable in this playoff series compared to the regular season. They had 2 blocks on Saturday, 4 steals, and there were some times during the year where that'd be an easy 2 for Thompson, but Towns is going to make him earn it from the free throw line. And he can't. He missed the first foul shot. It's Pistons 57, Knicks 53. Monica pondering her next thought with 9:08 to go in the third.
This fast forward a quarter, right, compared to game 1, but this is the critical sort of part of the ball game where will the Pistons be able to hold on to their lead, and how will the Knicks then respond?
Second foul shot is good, so it's a 5-point Detroit lead 3 minutes into the second half. High screen for Brunson by Hart. Brunson pulls up from the left elbow. Tough shot, missed it over Thompson. Offensive rebound. Hart, Anunoby right wing. Spins at the elbow. Got rid of Cunningham. Pulls up for a wide open 2. Didn't get the roll off the front rim. And the rebound secured by Harris. Cunningham walks into a left wing 3. Missed it over Anunoby in transition. Long rebound tipped by Towns. Then he kicked it. And Cunningham has it at midcourt. Kick out to the far corner. 3 from Hardaway. Missed off the heel. He's gone cold. And Hart gets the rebound, racing ahead from left to right. Out to Brunson, left wing, pump fake, reload, takes the 3 short. Duran gets the board this time, stripped by Anunoby, got it back and threw it ahead to Thompson. Pistons ball up 5-5 at the circle, dishes to the far corner. Hardaway passes inside for Harris, got fouled by Towns. And he'll go to the free throw line.
It just feels, Tyler, the Knicks are just a step late. A step late defensively, a step hurried offensively. The rhythm has been kind of tough to find tonight. I mean, Jalen Brunson had that stretch in the second quarter where he hit 3 threes. And Mikal Bridges had a little bit of a run in the second quarter as well. He scored here in the third. But overall, like, the rhythm tonight has been questionable for the Knicks.
We talked a lot about their struggles from 3 after starting 0 of 8. They have hit 6 of their last 12. But the Pistons now are struggling even more from 3. They are 4 out of 16 with a handful of misses in the third for Tim Hardaway, adding up to an 0 for 5 night. Tobias Harris gets both foul shots, so it's a 7-point Pistons lead. The Knicks have only led by 3. That was way back in the middle part of the first quarter. Since the Pistons took a 10-point lead, the advantage has fluctuated anywhere between 4 and 10. Knicks have not got closer. Bridges out high, pick and roll with Hart. He'll knife to the far side mid-range, pulls up for a tough 2. It's short. Rebound Harris. Pistons ball from right to left. Crowd has gone quiet. Detroit leads by 7. Harris stripped by Towns. Loose ball came to Hardaway. Spins in the lane far side. Nowhere to go, so it gets it to Harris, who dribbles all the way back to midcourt. They've got Duran matched up with Brunson inside. They can't get it to him. It's Thompson far side mid-post instead. He'll attack Bridges. His shot was altered by Mikal Bridges. Rebound Duran. Kept it alive. Right wing 3 from Tim Hardaway. Missed again. Tipped by Thompson. That won't go. But Harris is put back. Drops it off glass. It's a 9-point lead for the Pistons. And they earned it there, hustling on the offensive glass.
Detroit is playing with a sense of urgency that is really difficult for the Knicks to match. I mean, they're diving on the floor. They're off the ground quickly. Quick twitch to those offensive boards.
Towns spins left elbow on Harris. Tough shot, no. Rebound, Hart tipped out of his hands to Cunningham. Races ahead 2-on-1 with Thompson. Alley-oop. He scores and one. Or no, they wave off the basket. Wow, Brunson pushed Thompson in midair as he was rising for that alley-oop. And Thompson somehow tipped it in. I don't know how that's not a three-point play, but they say the foul was on the floor on Brunson.
I would be curious if this gets looked at, because you're right. Thompson was in the motion, in the action of getting to this ball in order to score. I actually thought with the demonstrative way that the official responded that he was calling some sort of flagrant for some reason,
right,
which I wouldn't think would have been appropriate, but I'm surprised that this is not going to be ruled in play.
You could even argue a clear pass foul.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to review it. I'm not sure if this is initiated by the officials or JB Bickerstaff. We're going to find out from Josh Tibbett. For now, it's a 9-point Pistons lead. 5 minutes gone by in the third quarter. Knicks got it down to 4 briefly. Officials are still looking around, and now here's Tibbett.
To see if it meets the criteria for a clear path foul and a possible flagrant foul.
Well, we nailed it, partner.
Well, they are lining up the charges on Jalen Brunson. 7:01 to go in this third quarter. This does give us time to pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
For the best basketball talk every afternoon, don't miss NBA Today with Justin Termini and Eddie Johnson from 4 to 7 Eastern on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the Sirius XM app.
With Monica McNutt, I'm Tyler Murray. 7 minutes and 1 second to go in the third. We have an official initiated replay review on an alley-oop from Cunningham to Asar Thompson. Jalen Brunson fouled Thompson very early in his flight to the basket. It would have been a very easy two. Thing is, Thompson took the hit, grabbed the ball, and somehow banked it in with a half spin. His back was almost fully turned to the hoop. A remarkable bucket. Question is, will it be a typical and one, or will they get Brunson for a clear path or flagrant foul? If it's a clear path foul, they'll get 2 free throws on the back end.
Upon review, there's no defender between the ball and the basket, and the pass has been released. It meets all the criteria for a clear path foul. It's going to be 2 free throws for Thompson, and it'll be Detroit ball at free throw line extended with 20 on the shot clock.
Now, you can't really stack it, as I'm sure Pistons fans are hoping for. Maybe the and one free throw, and then the 2 clear path foul free throws, and then possession. So, not the worst case scenario, I guess, but as the Knicks have battled back to bring it to a 4-point deficit, these free throws can make it a 10 or even 11-point game, and Detroit will keep the ball.
Well, we talked about adjustments from game to game, right? And we started talking about this in the last time out, but this was where the Pistons lost it in game 1. And so this stretch in the third quarter, their concerted effort to continue to put pressure on the rim, to get into passing lanes, to be disruptive. I mean, look at the glass numbers. They have out-rebounded the Knicks by 10, 33 to 23 in this ball game. Neither team has been particularly effective from the field in the third quarter, though, as Thompson misses that first free throw. But the Pistons are continuing to put pressure on this Knicks defense.
Thompson misses both clear path free throws. The Knicks have been desperate for a momentum swinging moment. They may have just got it. Thompson threw the ball up at the rim, and Jalen Brunson screaming for a delay of game call, but he's not going to get it. Point of concern, you are getting a great Mikal Bridges game right now, and you're still down by 9.
Well, you're getting a good Bridges game, but you've only got 8 combined points from Anunoby and Hart. And I would offer to you that the 17 and 16 or 17 and 10 respectively that Brunson and Towns have not really come in rhythm.
Cunningham spins past Brunson and hits a leaner from the free throw line. It's an 11-point Pistons lead. They've led by as many as 13. 6:40 left in the third quarter. Knicks ball from left to right. Bridges initiates from the S in the Knick logo. Brunson trying to fight around his screen. Got bumped down by Asar Thompson, and they will call the foul. That's 3 on Thompson.
Thompson continues to look bewildered over at the official. But this is the craftiness of Jalen Brunson, right? He's coming off the screen hard. He's going to take advantage of any contact and sell it. And as he should. Dennis Schroeder did the exact same thing in the first half.
We're going to get an immediate timeout here, under 7 minutes. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. It is Pistons 64, Knicks 53. Neither team is shooting over 30% from downtown. And it's Detroit. Just a few more plays early in the second half to take this 11-point lead. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Ready to level up your game time? Check out Chumba Casino. Non-stop fun and totally free to join. Enjoy online social casino games with new games added regularly. Play for your chance to win serious prizes and claim your daily login bonus. Whether you're at home or on the move, jump in and start playing today at ChumbaCasino.com. Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, Delaware, Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Knicks fans, now at Verizon, they're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan. And you can get a single line for just $45 a month when you switch and bring your phone. That's their best price ever on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Guaranteed for 3 years. They got you. Visit your local Verizon store today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Get a double-digit bonus exclusively for Knicks fans from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Take $10 off of your order of $50 or more when you shop online at shop.foodbazaar.com. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FANSGET10 for the largest selection of international foods, an all-star lineup of the freshest meat, seafood, and produce, and $10 off of your first order of $50. Use promo code FANSGET10 at shop.foodbazaar.com.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
64-53. Pistons lead the Knicks with 6:33 to go in the third quarter. The concession stand crowd has refiled back into the stands, trying to fire it up and make some noise as the Knicks are down by 11. They will have the ball out of this media timeout.
Refiled?
Yes, the concourse and hallways are very crowded, so the fans were not in their seats, so they've refiled their way back into the
Is
seats.
it re or filed?
They filed in. They filed back in.
Producer says no re.
Well, yeah, no, I'm never going to win a contest against Ray Santiago and Monica McNutt.
It's just a fun little moment. Basically, yeah, fans are back here, back in attendance. Want to see this team close the gap on what is an 11-point hole. And look, here's the thing tonight that I think is largely different from game one. OG Anunoby has 4 points. He's 2 of 7 from the field. And Cade Cunningham has 24 points, and he has 9 rebounds. So it's been a departure, not for lack of effort. I'm not saying that. I think OG Anunoby is trying very hard. But it has been a lack of effort in terms of his effectiveness on both sides of the floor, and I think you feel that in a big way.
You need OG to be OG to come back in this game. Down 11, 6:33 to go. Bridges will inbound from the near sideline. Knicks are getting some foul calls here in the second half, at least more than in the first half, which is not saying much. Here is Hart, top of the arc, defended by Paul Reed. Starting 5 still out there for the Knicks. Brunson drives left side, hangs in the air. Allowed to pass up top to Towns, but it was too tall. Swatted out to midcourt for Cunningham, and he jams it on the break after a behind-the-back move to give the Pistons a 13-point lead.
Did Cade Cunningham just point at Carmelo Anthony, who's being interviewed on MSG Network's television by Alan Hahn in-game?
Yes.
Wow.
Pretty good. Brunson drives left side on Beasley, takes him to the far side mid-post, missed a tough runner, rebound batted around. It winds up with Asar Thompson, but his outlet is stolen by Hart. Finds Brunson right wing. Pump fakes and drives past Reed. In the lane, caught in the air, tipped back to him by Towns. It's on the deck. Thompson has a hand on it, and so does Karl Anthony Towns. Thompson goes into a turtle shell, and a timeout called by Detroit, who has all the momentum, a 13-point lead. And it feels even larger with a 9-0 run and 5:54 to go in the third, because the Knicks have not had an easy shot, seemingly, the entire third quarter.
You heard me say this in the second quarter, but it remains to be true. The Knicks feel a step slow defensively and a step hurried offensively. That whole sequence that we just witnessed, it felt like they were trying to make passes to compensate for how quickly and scrappy this Detroit Pistons defense is moving, and it ended up in a big old jump ball, a big old mess, a big old nothingness.
Well, they were down 9 around this time on Saturday. They are down 13 just over the midway point in the third quarter here on Monday. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Fantasy Sports Radio is introducing you to the future stars of fantasy football at the NFL Draft.
The top of this draft class has big-time talent. They're going to make an impact on fantasy football in 2025.
Find out which rookies you need to draft if you want to win your league right now.
I am getting Ashton Genty in 2025 in the earlier rounds.
On Thursday night, follow the NFL Draft from a fantasy football perspective on Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and the Sirius XM app.
It's NFL Draft Week, and the place to stay informed is SiriusXM NFL Radio.
What if the guy you really do target is gone?
Our experts are breaking down the needs for all 32 teams.
Even if somehow at 21 you draft a quarterback, is that the guy you want to take with you right now?
And you'll hear every selection of the draft and interviews with the newest members of your team.
To be officially in the NFL and know where I'm going, man, I'm excited.
On SiriusXM NFL Radio, Channel 88, and the SiriusXM app.
The best place to get your basketball fix every weekday is Give and Go with Worldwide Wob, Rob Perez, and former NBA champion Antonio Daniels on NBA Radio.
If you got Steph, you got a chance.
Evan Mobley, his unicorn status is about to be unlocked.
They'll cover every story and talk to great guests across the association every afternoon.
NBA Hall of Famer Mike Breen.
Anything shy of certainly the finals would be a disappointment for the Celtics.
It's Give and Go, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, only on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and always on the Sirius XM app. 24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
After the game, join us on MLB Network Radio. We're talking baseball with you all season long on Sirius XM Channel 89 and the Sirius XM app.
Knicks down 66-53, a 13-point deficit to Detroit with 5:54 remaining in the third quarter of Game 2. Knicks basketball on ESPN New York is brought to you by Michelob Ultra, an official beer sponsor of the New York Knicks, superior light beer. With Monica McNutt, I'm Tyler Murray. We are seeing an encouraging performance from Mikal Bridges, who has a team-high 17 points, but it hasn't been nearly enough to match the 26 from Cade Cunningham. Almost the exact opposite of Game 1. Cunningham got a lot of help from Schroeder and Beasley, Harris, and Hardaway. He's their only player above 13 points tonight.
Cade Cunningham has had a terrific game, and I think he's done a good job of controlling the game, and that is still, he's registered a goose egg in the assist category. But he's by far and away been the best player on the floor tonight, and the scoring certainly is indicative of that on 10 of 17 from the field.
Makes you wonder what it would look like if he has it all going at the same time. He had a triple-double here in December.
Well, he's not, very reminiscent of that, and he's he does not have 0 assists not for trying.
Beasley for 3, short from the top of the key, and Towns gets the rebound.
His guys are just not hitting said opportunities.
Exactly. Beasley's missed 3 of his 4 3-pointers. Towns coast to coast in the middle of the paint on Harris, turns to the cup, missed an easy one with double-team defense coming over from Paul Reed. So not that easy, but he was point blank. 5:15 to go in the third. Pistons ball from right to left. They're up by 13. Bridges defending Cunningham here. Screen from Harris on the left side. Baseline drive from Cunningham. Hangs in the air. Hands to Reed, who got away with a travel and banks home a layup. So Paul Reed is on the board for the first time in his 9 emergency minutes with the injury to Isaiah Stewart. They're going to call a foul on Asar Thompson. Got his hands tangled up with Jalen Brunson right in front of Josh Tibbin. That will be Thompson's 4th. He's begging. He's making the prayer hand signal to his bench for a challenge.
I gotta. All right. Well, Jalen Brunson, to me, if you believe in the nature of all-star calls, he's the guy that has earned that and then some.
Mitchell Robinson will come in here, and now J.B. Bickerstaff will twirl his finger for a challenge. What happened on the play was Brunson was dribbling up court. Asar Thompson was backpedaling a step in front of him. and he had his arms extended out to each side. Brunson didn't have the ball, actually. Bridges took it up. But Brunson ran forward into the extended arm of Thompson and kind of nuzzled his head into his bicep.
You have a defensive foul on Thompson.
I actually don't take issue with the effort by Jalen Brunson, right? At a minimum, it's a no call. You keep playing.
And you force Detroit to use their last challenge either way.
The nuzzle part that is tricky is it looks like there's a little bit of a hook situation.
Yes, Brunson had to move his head around to sell it.
And his off arm, it's a swim move for my folks that hooped a little bit. Or that's a football thing. We actually stole that from football. It's a little bit of a swim move on his part. I won't call it a full-on hook and hold, but between Brunson's shoulder, elbow, and the way he's moving his head, it would have been really challenging for Thompson to get his arm out of there.
And the play happened right in front of Nick Jonas sitting courtside.
I was just about to say, which one of the Jonas brothers are married to Priyanka Chopra, who is lovely?
Oh, and I think the other one, not named Joe, is...
Nick and Kevin are there.
Nick and Kevin, okay. Well,
is there one more? Isn't there one more?
Yeah. There is one more. You got Nick, Kevin, and Joe. And they've all been to, as they sang about, the year 3000. So in a way, they already know the results of this challenge.
You just took that to another level. Good on you.
68-53. The Pistons have a 15-point lead, the largest of the series for Detroit. The Knicks in the third quarter, Monica, we said they're not getting any easy looks.
Dismal.
They are 1 of 11 from the field. Now, this Pistons team, since the start of January, has the 5th best defensive rating in the NBA. But the Knicks are too talented to put up a stat line like that for any extended period, let alone the first 7 minutes of a pivotal third quarter. Here's the review.
Thompson's arm is in an illegal position as he defends Brunson on the way down the floor. The defensive foul stands. The challenge is unsuccessful. It'll be New York ball in the backcourt. Detroit has no further challenges.
So I did not render what I would have thought that challenge's outcome would have been. I guess, though, you're left with the question of what is the call against Jalen Brunson? Because it couldn't have been an offensive, like, what do you turn it to?
No call.
Right. Okay, you could have turned it to a no call.
Inbound comes to Brunson in the backcourt. Knicks trail by 15. They need a spark. Robinson up top, dribble handoff to Anunoby. He's 2 of 7 tonight. Drives right side on Cunningham, middle of the paint, try to step back. Now launch one and hits it over Cunningham. He kind of stopped his motion as Cunningham was in his grill, but then he continued it and made it tough.
So similar to the 2 step backs that were really effective in game 1, he is at least stopping his body control, but not full on step back.
And Bridges tipped a pass away, but right back to Beasley, who gets it between the legs. Pass from Jalen Duren. Beasley far corner, launches a 3 over Robinson, missed it. Rebound tipped off of Harris, out of bounds. Knicks basketball.
All right, you can hear this crowd here in the Garden starting to rev up and hoping to energize their squad as they force a turnover in that last possession. But can they capitalize? So far in this ball game, they've got 10 points off the 11 turnovers that the Pistons have had.
Brunson defended by Schroeder, who came in for Thompson with his 4 fouls. Anunoby dribble handoff from Robinson, steps into a left point 3, passed inside to Robinson, who tipped it out of bounds, and Kate Cunningham blitzing the shot of Anunoby forced that tough pass.
So unfortunately, another example of the Knicks just being slightly disjointed. I understand what OG Anunoby is thinking there, but I don't know that Mitchell Robinson was looking for that.
Hard to predict that. Now Cunningham on the other end. Passes to a cutting Schroeder, and he threw it away. Hung in the air and tried to hand it off to Duren, but Brunson stole it. Brunson feeds Bridges, right wing 3 on the move. Nailed it! Mikal Bridges has 20. And the Knicks are right back in a 10-point game.
They need to string together those stops. The defense chants are getting louder. They've had 2 turnovers in the last 3 possessions, but only cashed in on 1.
Harris baseline leaner, no. Rebound Robinson. Good defense from Josh Hart on the near side. Bridges has 19 to be exact. Brunson left wing defended by Duren. Threw it all the way to Hart in the right corner. Now to Bridges. Right wing 3. Short. Rebound Schroeder. Long outlet to Beasley. He'll attack Anunoby. Tough layup is good. High off the glass over OG's outstretched hands. 3 minutes left in the third. It's back to a 12-point Detroit lead.
The Pistons are +6 in the paint scoring category, not to mention
Brunson drives to the foul line. Floater is good. Rattling in as he got past Beasley. 10-point game.
they've shot 16 more free throws than the Knicks. Wow.
The concerning thing is this is not a night where the opponent got hot from three to pull off a road upset. The Pistons are 4 of 19 from downtown. Schroeder drives around Brunson, and he hit him in the gut. Offensive foul. Brunson doubled over to draw the offensive personal on Schroeder. That's his second. And the Knicks take over down 10 with 2:29 to go in the third as he hooked him.
It literally feels, Tyler, though, that every other possession the Knicks make the right play. They get stops, whether they draw a foul, whether they force a turnover, but it's every other. And that seesaw nature has not allowed this gap to close.
Deuce McBride just came in for Josh Hart. So Brunson, McBride, Bridges, Anunoby, and Robinson on the floor. 2:20 left in the third. It's 70-60 Pistons. Brunson at midcourt, hounded by Hardaway, but they get the switch they want. Left wing Brunson. Dribbles with the left hand, crosses over to the right, steps back, takes a three over Hardaway. Just missed off the front rim.
You don't have to play hero ball.
Brunson 7 of 18. Cunningham crosses over Anunoby down the lane. Tough layup, banked in. OG was right there with him, and he's signaling that he was pushed off with the offhand, but no call. 12-point Detroit lead. Knicks really couldn't get a stop in game one until the fourth quarter. Anunoby takes a three, but it's waved off because of an defensive foul. As Brunson, I thought, was going to get hit with a moving screen, but they're going to call a foul on Cade Cunningham instead.
Brunson moves because Cade Cunningham takes two hands and kind of moves him out of the way, trying to get his other hand on his own teammate, telling him to match up on the switch for OG Anunoby. Now, this is much-needed free throws in this ball game in terms of the disparity. However, I personally would have taken that three-point shot.
That's true. And they showed it on the video board. If you're hoping maybe the foul happened in the process of Anunoby's shot, well, it clearly was a push before OG went into the shooting motion. If it was a little earlier, it would have been a counted basket and a chance for a 4-point play as Brunson rattles home the first free throw. Knicks down 11 with 1:46 to go in the third. We're going to find out very soon if Detroit has exercised their fourth quarter demons from game one.
There are some similarities. What is the chant?
MVP, I believe.
MVP, okay. Everybody wasn't in unison, though. I could not decipher the three-letter chant. Similar to where we were yesterday in terms of the Knicks being down heading into the fourth. But Tyler, they've been out-rebounded by 12 in addition to some other painful areas. There are disparities outside of the free throws.
Brunson got both of them. They're back within 10 again. 96 seconds to go before the fourth quarter. Schroeder pump fakes, drives down the middle of the lane. Floater is good as he got around McBride. 12-point lead again.
The paint scoring is starting to get away a little bit. The Pistons are +8 in the paint scoring. 38 to 32, +6, excuse me.
Not even Mitchell Robinson can slow it down. At the foul line, out to Bridges' left wing. Screen on the left side from Robinson. Now he drives baseline underneath the hoop, finds Brunson right baseline. McBride now top of the key with 2 to shoot. Has to hoist at the horn. Banked it in! Deuce McBride with a prayer. And the Knicks have life. They're back within 9.
Desperately looking for something that will stick as the spark to a much-needed run to close this gap.
Now they're in search of a much-needed stop. Cunningham with 45 seconds left. Walks into a left wing three. Air ball out of bounds left baseline. He thought it got tipped by a Knick. Referees looking at each other, but they are giving the Knicks the basketball. 43 seconds left in the third. Brunson will roll it out toward midcourt. Now he picks it up at his own three-point line and slowly walks toward the timeline from left to right. Brunson drives on Schroeder, spins at the foul line. Half spin, pulls up for 2. Good from 12 feet. And they get the 2 for 1. 31 seconds left, 24 to shoot. They're down by 7. Brunson's got 21. Bridges with 19. Cunningham and Anunoby all alone at the center court logo. Now a screen from Duren. Double team, strip, but a kick ball by Anunoby as he blitzed Cunningham on the screen. That'll put 14 back on the shot clock, so just 0.8 separating the timers. They show it on the video board. Anunoby did indeed get a toe on it. Inbound to Cunningham, and if they time this right, they don't have to give the Knicks the ball back before the fourth quarter. Pistons ball from right to left, up by 7. Brunson reaches in and fouls Cunningham, so the Knicks will certainly not get the ball back unless they force a turnover. They had one to give, but that will turn the shot clock off. Harris and Hart will both come into the game. 5.8 to go. Duran and Brunson will come out.
Substitutions obviously going offense, defense here.
Cunningham will inbound just in front of the broadcast table near sideline. Anunoby guarding him. It comes to Harris at midcourt, hands back to Cunningham. Knifes to the right elbow and got fouled by Anunoby. So free throws coming for Cunningham with 2.6 to go in the third quarter. Anunoby with his third. And the Knicks will have to go 94 feet in 2.5 seconds to likely get this game back under 9 again, considering how good of a free throw shooter Cade Cunningham is. Towns and Duran will check back in at the first free throw. Foul shot is good. And Robinson is coming out for the Knicks.
Just based on the way this one has gone, Pat and I spent time in our breaks during game 1 wondering about the scheme because other guys were going off, but Cade Cunningham had not. Seems like that was a pretty effective scheme in game 1. Tonight, it's been a different story.
He's 11 for 19. He's about to get his 30th point with a free throw. Missed it. Jinx successful. Rebound tipped by Anunoby. And the Knicks are within 8 points heading to the fourth quarter. It's Pistons 75, Knicks 67. And even though they missed 10 of their first 11 shots in the second half and couldn't get the lead any closer than 4, the Knicks are still very much in this game, down by 8, just like they were at the end of the third quarter on Saturday.
Yeah, a couple of things stand out that are different from Saturday night, though. One of them being rebounding. The Knicks have been out-rebounded by 11 so far in this one. Another being the disparity in the free throws, because for the most part, free throws were pretty even when you looked at the outcome of the final game on Monday night, or Saturday night, excuse me. Pistons actually ended up shooting 6 more, but by the start of the fourth quarter, the disparity was not 22-6. Either way, though, to your point, considering all of those things and points in the paint being in favor of the Detroit Pistons, the Knicks still have an opportunity to play a much sharper and crisper fourth quarter on both sides of the basketball and potentially take a 2-0 lead in this series.
And they outscored the Pistons by 19 in the fourth quarter in game 1, and they would certainly sign up for that again. They're down by 8, heading to the fourth, 75-67 Pistons. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Knicks fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there's only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel has the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been serving New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for 30 years. They offer premier customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate traveling experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call 212-206-6974.
Because growing a business keeps you on the go. We've got your bank. Because a steady cash flow is the lifeblood of your bottom line. We've got your bank. Because your workday simply doesn't stop at 5 o'clock. We've got your bank. Dime Community Bank gives you the digital tools you need to simplify your business banking, even deposit checks, anytime from anywhere. And we back our technology with a team that's always there, wherever business takes you. Visit Dime.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Attention Knicks fans! Looking for infusion care that puts you first? ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Trusted by physicians across specialties, ThriveWell offers private state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a ThriveWell location near you. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. That's ThriveWellInfusion.com. Saving lives drip by drip.
Stay in the game with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup options. The easy and secure way to grab your orders on your schedule. Whether you're hustling between work, home, or your game day spot, choose Amazon Locker or Counter for secure and convenient pickup. At checkout, simply select the pickup location that works best for you. Amazon Pickup is a slam dunk. It's the worry-free option, all at no extra cost. Find your nearest pickup location at amazon.com/pickup MVP. That's amazon.com/pickup MVP.
Fourth quarter about to begin. The Knicks trail the Pistons 75-67. Familiar in some ways, but as Monica told you, the rebounding battle has not gone New York's way. And we'll do the old thought experiment.
Okay.
If you told Knicks fans
here we go,
the Pistons would be 4 of 20 from 3 after 3 quarters, do you think they would expect a lead? I would say so, but they are down by 8.
Well, here's the thing. Saturday night, Game 1's three-point performance was a little bit of an outlier for the Pistons. Malik Beasley and Tobias Harris are guys that can shoot. But even the combination of them, and you add Tim Hardaway in the mix, they had not shot that prolifically as a unit.
2 on the shot clock for Brunson. Gets around Beasley, scoops a layup, and almost dropped in. He got fouled. It's that kind of night for Brunson. What we saw in the first half on Saturday, he started 2 of 13. He's now 8 of 19. He got hit hard on the help defense from Duren, who was a brick house.
That is physical. Took him out of the air. I shouldn't say took him out of there. The collision caused him to hit the ground without balance, landing on his tailbone and back.
Second foul on Duren, but a chance to start the fourth quarter off with points. Brunson can't connect. It spun in and out. He was 4 for his first 4 from the stripe. And of course, the fourth quarter on Saturday began with a 5-second inbounding violation on Detroit as the Knicks surprised them by picking up full court with full marks for Campaign. And then the next possession for Detroit was a shot clock violation. Brunson's second free throw, perfect. 75-68, 11:37 to go. The Knicks have the double big lineup out there. Brunson and McBride, Hart, Towns, and Robinson. Harris right elbow, no one around him, so he pulls up for 2 and nails the mid-range jumper. Harris 15 and 10 tonight. Just a bit more consistent with his production. He had 22 in the first half on Saturday, but just 3 after halftime.
There's a couple of guys, 3 guys, in fact, well, 2 in addition to Harris that are on double-double watch for the Pistons. Jalen Duren has 10 rebounds and 8 points, and Cade Cunningham is a rebound away from a 29 and 10.
Knicks down 9, first minute, fourth quarter. Hart for 3 right wing, very short off a good find from Brunson with 2 defenders on him. There's the first postseason 3-point miss from Josh Hart. He was 1 for 1 in Game 1. Schroeder up top. Out of the foul line for Harris. Jab step, he's got Brunson on him. Skip pass to the near corner for a wide open Malik Beasley. Front rim, no. He was open because of a good off-ball screen by Jalen Duren. Beasley 1 of 5 from downtown tonight. Brunson spins and fell down. Asar Thompson's losing his mind. That's his 5th foul in just 20 minutes. He had 5 fouls in 23 minutes on Saturday.
There's a part of me that has some compassion for that young man.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a tough day guarding Jalen Brunson. And I would say at least 2 of his have just been kind of unfortunate bounces. He's in the area where there's contact with Jalen Brunson. Could be a no call if we were in Detroit, but we're not.
Yeah. Thompson beat Brunson to the spot, but then Brunson spun off it, and that created some contact that wound up with Brunson on the ground.
From the field, though, the Knicks need to capitalize because Detroit is 0 of 9 from the 3-point line in the second half.
Knicks ball from left to right. They're down by 9. Off the dribble 3, left wing. McBride buries it over Duren. Deuce McBride's hit 2 big 3-pointers in the second half. It's a 6-point game.
Very important as he was not able to get in that category in Game 1.
10 minutes left. Robinson went out. Anunoby has come in for him. Schroeder up top, picked up by a Hart. Now it's Harris on the right point, defended by the smaller Brunson. Faces up with 3 to shoot. Over to Schroeder. Left wing 3. Short, but then it rolls around and down. Front rim, backboard, rattled in and drops.
Schroeder got the kind of roll that you're not supposed to get on the road on that one.
Brunson hesitates left wing in the lane. Lefty floater. Block came right back to him off the Duren rejection out to Anunoby. Sidesteps. Now McBride up top. Pump fake. Sidestep. Cunningham stuck with him. Brunson left wing. Into the lane. Stripped by Harris. Got it back. 5 to shoot. Leans in. Tied up by Duren. And the jump ball is signaled. And Duren with the size advantage is going to tip it up against Brunson with a 9-point Pistons lead. 9:31 to go in the fourth.
It's just disconnection. I have no other way to describe it besides disconnection tonight and just being a beat too fast. Offensively, that is, for the Knicks.
So Duren.
Is disconnection the word I wanted?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Disjointed. Thank you, producer Ray.
Tip was sent all the way into the front court. Beasley had a dunk attempt blocked, but a foul called. As McBride and Hart raced him up court. The 2 free throws coming for Malik Beasley, who went hard to the rim with a 2-hand dunk attempt. But it will be a foul call on Josh Hart.
Beasley falls out of the air as McBride and Hart are going to contest this one. Good to see him hop up with no residual. If you heard that, that was me, because that was a pretty tough fall.
Oh, yeah. Back at the foul line, Beasley is 2 of 2 from the stripe tonight. And he gets the first, so 8 points for him after 20 in game 1. Duren comes out, and Paul Reed will come in. He has 2 points and a couple of turnovers in 8 minutes. He's replacing the injured Isaiah Stewart.
There's a lot of time left, but I think one of the obvious big differences in game 1 was the ability to get Cameron Payne off the bench and that spark to catch fire. Who's going to offer that spark for the Knicks tonight? Because it has to happen on both ends of the floor.
Maybe Deuce McBride, a couple of 3-pointers in recent play. Both free throws good. Knicks down 11, 9 minutes to go. Towns double teamed inside. Kick out Anunoby left wing with 4 to shoot. Good defense from Cade Cunningham. Will cross him over. Drives, tough step back, fall away. Nailed it from the far sideline just before the shot clock buzzed.
That's a difficult shot.
Great defense from Cade Cunningham. Schroeder thought about a left wing 3, got it handoff back from Reed, attacks the elbow, pulls up for 2. Schroeder missed it too strong. Rebound Anunoby, he's got 5 of them. Knicks down 9, 8:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Brunson right side, backs down Beasley, gets to the near side, mid post, spins baseline. Leaner is good. Nice job by Brunson. Quick trigger to get rid of it before Reed came over to help. 7-point game.
All right, the Knicks starting to put it together. It's a short one, but you got back-to-back baskets. Don't want to call it a run, but you take back-to-back baskets with a stop in between.
8:15 to go. They've trailed by 15. Now down by 7. Cunningham finds Reed wide open inside, and the left-hand layup is good, despite the help from Hart and McBride. The Knicks just can't get this to a one-possession game. It's been this way all second half. Down 9. Same play here. Brunson backing down Beasley. Inside the foul line. Finds an open Anunoby. Far corner 3. Short. Rebound. Hart got a hand on it. Keeps his dribble. Undercut by Schroeder. Tipped out of bounds by Reed. It'll stay with the Knicks. This crowd is just waiting to erupt. But again, the Pistons have kept the Knicks at bay the entire last 3 quarters.
This
not led since the midway point of the first.
Yeah, and this is a level of poise, right? J.B. Bickerstaff talked about closing, and to me, the Pistons have been working on trying to close this basketball game since the beginning of the third quarter.
Hart got loose inside, missed a tough layup with Reed lurking behind. Cunningham wants to push across midcourt in the lane, took a hit, layup missed. That should have been an easy 3-point play for Cunningham, but he'll get 2 free throws instead. As the Knicks trail by 9, 7:42 to go in the fourth quarter.
So if I could just take a snapshot of this right now, right? You've got the Pistons huddled between the two arcs in the paint as a team. You've got 3 Knicks standing on one side of the huddle and 2 on the other side of the huddle. I totally get fatigue. I totally get frustration. But this is where you've got to close ranks, right? The hand slap has to go to a fist so that you can strike a mighty blow. Somebody's got to be saying something to these guys to help the Knicks get back on the same page. They are far too distracted by officiating right now, and they've got to close ranks as a unit.
Now, the conversations we're seeing are with Ray Acosta, one of the officials here tonight. Cunningham got the first free throw. 10-point Detroit lead, 7:42 remaining. Second foul shot bounces in off the front rim. An 11-point Piston advantage.
The free throw disparity continues, though. The Pistons are 21 of 26. The Knicks just 6 of 8 tonight.
And Anunoby starts the action at the top of the arc. Now Towns straight on. He's been held to 10 points and 4 rebounds tonight, Karl-Anthony Towns. Spins up top to get around Harris. Surrounded by Pistons. Kicked out to McBride. Open 3. Short from the right wing. Deuce McBride had hit 2 of his first 3 3-pointers before that miss. Cunningham right to left. Between the legs dribble. Muscles past Anunoby. Leaner in the lane. Missed, but a tip-in by Paul Reed on the reverse. He hung in midair and scored. 13-point Detroit lead.
The energy and the youth of this Pistons team is proving to be a challenge for the Knicks.
Bridges about to check in. Brunson works his way to the foul line. Right corner, McBride drives baseline on Beasley. Double team by Reed, who stripped him, but a foul call. With 6:55 to go in the fourth quarter. With that stoppage, we'll go to immediate timeout. The Knicks trail by 13 and searching for answers. And still just have under 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
It's an NBA playoff doubleheader, and it all starts in New York. Game 2 between the Knicks and Pistons beginning at 7:30 Eastern. That will be followed by Game 2 between the Nuggets and Clippers. Both games airing on your home for the NBA playoffs. Sirius XM's NBA Radio, Channel 86, and on the Sirius XM app.
Los Angeles Lakers Governor Jeannie Buss sat down for a 3-hour discussion with Rob Perez and Antonio Daniels on Sirius XM NBA Radio.
I've never articulated this before. This is something you have to see in person. Luka does these things that you're like, where did that come from? Where did he come up with that? Teaming him with LeBron, and it's so exciting to watch.
Hear the full interview with Jeannie Buss whenever you want with the Sirius XM app. Just search NBA Radio.
The first place to talk hoops every weekday morning is The Starting Lineup with Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine.
Overrated? Do you watch the guy play? He's unstoppable.
They're breaking down all the latest from the association.
I think he's a baller, and I think people would give up assets to get a guy like that.
Along with some laughs.
Kevin Durant, you need to get married and be miserable like the rest of us. Reprimanding the fans for booing. It's like, come on, man.
The Starting Lineup, weekday mornings from 7 to 10 Eastern. Only on Sirius XM NBA Radio, Channel 86, and the Sirius XM app.
Your home for golf's biggest events is PGA Tour Radio.
It's a Grand Slam roar at Augusta National. Rory McIlroy, he's the 6th in the history of the game to enter golf's greatest group.
Deep down, I always believed that I had the game to win here at Augusta. You know, it was touch and go at times today, but thankfully I was able to get the job done.
PGA Tour Radio, Channel 92 in the car, and on the Sirius XM app.
Still time left for the Knicks, but they're up against it right now. 88-75. The Pistons looking to pull off, I don't want to say a stunner, but this would be an impressive win for this young team that won just 14 games a season ago as they hope to even this first round series. With Monica McNutt, I'm Tyler Murray. Knicks basketball on ESPN New York is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. Learn more at Kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. Celebrity Row, Monica, what's standing out right now as we have a minute?
From the Celebrity Row?
Yeah.
The reaction that the dude Chase, I forgot his last name, from Gossip Girl got. The girls went crazy.
I think he's the fish from The Boys, the superhero show.
Oh, okay.
There's Marcus Camby, Bernard King, as we get into more of the Nick Icon portion of who's in the house. Anyway, 13-point lead for the Pistons. And the Knicks have 26 from Brunson, 19 from Bridges, but It seems the Pistons have found a way to neutralize Karl Anthony Towns, just 10 points and 4 rebounds in 27 minutes.
And so I've been thinking about that over the course of this ball game. When Tobias Harris was guarding him in the first half, Karl Anthony Towns did a good job of taking advantage of that matchup. This is where, and I know we asked head coach Tom Thibodeau about this pregame, do you look to get a guy going? His answer, as common practice for him, is the game dictates where you need to go. Well, right now the game is dictating you need to go to Tobias Harris because he's got 0 points in the second half.
Starting five.
Excuse me, Karl Anthony Towns, I apologize.
Starting 5 on the floor for the Knicks. Brunson corners 3. Good from the far side in front of that Pistons bench. 10-point game again. Will this lead to a nice run? The Knicks have been unable to string those buckets together. 88-78. Detroit leads New York. Still time left. 6.5 to go. Schroeder spins away from Brunson right side. Now drives baseline on Towns. A block but a foul call. As Brunson was on Schroeder's hip and maybe a taste of his own medicine, a quick pull-up, and Brunson kept running into him. Free throws coming for Schroeder, who's had a very efficient 14 points and 3 assists tonight.
And lots of chirping. He's been involved in making lots of noise, getting these Pistons going, getting under the skin of some of these New York Knicks players.
And he went from the Warriors to the Pistons in that 5-team Jimmy Butler deal. And the 3 versus 6 matchup crept closer and closer. I can tell you I wasn't the most excited to be facing Dennis Schroeder in a long playoff series. And he's got some of that craftiness that can help a young team like Detroit.
Yeah, and lots of big game experience, especially when you talk about on the international stage playing for Team Germany. I mean, this guy is a hooper.
And he gets both free throws here. 12-point Detroit lead, 6:25 to go. Josh Hart, top of the arc, defended by Reed, and a foul away from the ball as Beasley was trying to push Bridges off the spot to the right elbow. It is the 4th foul in the quarter on Detroit, so the Knicks are shooting free throws the rest of the way with still 6:19 to go. And they're going to try the Asar Thompson experience one more time. He's fouled Brunson almost every time he's been out there, 5 total in 20 minutes.
Well, not a lot of runway, as you mentioned.
They will send Schroeder to the bench. Same with Reed as Jalen Duren comes in. Bridges on the right side, perimeter pick and pop with Hart. He'll catch at the right point, spins in the lane and lost his balance. That's a tough foul call on Jalen Duren, but that's what they've ruled. No challenges available for Detroit as Duren gets his 3rd.
Knicks got to force the issue. They got to keep attacking the paint. Hopefully that'll end up in some quality looks or getting to the free throw line. And as we just talked about coming back from break, where is Karl Anthony Towns in this one?
As we mentioned, the Knicks are in the bonus. And that was, I think, a break for the Knicks. The left arm of Duren was on Hart's back, but Hart spun into him. But free throws anyway. And he gets the first off the front rim. 90-79. The Knicks have not led since the midway point in the 3rd quarter. They got it to a 4-point deficit twice in the 2nd and then once early in the 3rd, but it's been at 6 or higher for the Pistons ever since. Both foul shots good. Hart's got 6, and the Knicks are down 10. We apologize for the broken record of it, but this is where they need a stop or 2 in a row. Thompson, top of the arc, ball fake, looking for Duren at the right elbow, poked loose by Towns, but picked up by Duren. Lob pass inside to Thompson, defended by Brunson. Backs him down, spins baseline, a fall away, very short, rebound Towns. That's his 5th board. Hart, left wing, catches in stride, back to Brunson up top, defended by Thompson. Right side screen from Hart, blitzed by Duren. Brunson right wing, steps into a 3, pump fake, leans in, draws the 6th foul on Thompson, and he'll get free throws. The question is, how many? Did he lean in too far and put his foot on the line? Either way, it's wave goodbye time for Asar Thompson.
You're right about that left foot, though. It is in front of the 3-point line, so it'll be 2.
Yeah, he was way inside the 3-point line. Ray Santiago holding up 3 fingers in my face. Like I wish too, Ray. That was a 2-point shot. But if he didn't have such well-prepared cornrows, Asar Thompson would be pulling his hair out right now. because of the frustration factor. That is what that's called, right?
I was going to say you nailed it. I've taught you well this year.
You did, in so many ways. First free throw, good for Brunson. 9-point game.
The real question, though, now, is this the moment to mark? 5:34 in the fourth quarter. Asar Thompson goes out. Jalen Brunson draws a foul. And, I'm going to say it, knocks down 2 free throws to bring the game to 8.
That was very brave, Monica.
I know.
But your courage was rewarded. Brunson got both. He's 7 of 8 from the line and another 30-point night. 34 in game 1, now 31 here in game 2. 8-point game, 5.5 to go. Beasley off the screen, up top, dribbles to the right wing. And picked up his dribble, got it back from Schroeder with 6. Sealed off by Bridges, now top of the key. Offensive foul on Duren. Three-pointer missed anyway by Beasley. Duren trucked Bridges on a dribble handoff screen. And the Knicks will take over down by 8 with 5:13 to go.
All right. For the first 7 minutes, basically, of this fourth quarter, the issue has been when the Pistons needed a basket, the Knicks couldn't come up with a stop, and they gave them a basket. Let's see if that trend is going to change here.
J.B. Bickerstaff clapping aggressively a la Jason Garrett when things weren't going well in Dallas. Brunson in the lane, lefty floater is good. He got the roll off the back rim. 6-point game. 4:52 left in the game. 90-84 Pistons. Schroeder up top. Guarding crowd finally in full throat. Baseline drive Beasley into Duren. Surrounded by Knicks, but a foul. Don't think he got a shot up. It's just a 4th in the quarter on New York. There were so many hands on Jalen Duren, he had to call a foul on somebody. They're going to get Jalen Brunson with his 4th.
Yeah, this defense absolutely collapses on him. But you'll live with that hesitantly based on free throw percentages on the course of the season. And this foul does, in fact, to your point, look like it's going to be on the floor.
So Brunson's coming out here. And he will go back down the tunnel. Now, he did this on Saturday. Changed his sneakers, and according to Tom Thibodeau, went and got his cape.
Well, to start that possession, right on the near side of the sideline to us, he slipped. We couldn't see what happened, but he did slip.
So McBride is in for Brunson, playing with the starters. Cunningham on Anunoby. Near elbow, spins to the foul line. Anunoby won't let him go. Reach in by Hart, poked it free. Cunningham got it to Harris somehow, but he missed a corner 3 near side. Hart wants to run. Anunoby got fouled by Cunningham. They're going to send him to the free throw line. We'll see if they consider a transition take foul. This place is about to blow up. Malik Beasley, the veteran, calls his teammates in. Josh Hart tells Dennis Schroeder, go to your huddle. As the Knicks will get free throws, down by 6, 4:27 to go in the 4th, and at long last, they have grabbed momentum in this game.
One thing I will say, you're starting to see a little bit of the fight that is going to be necessary to take the lead and ultimately win this game.
And the crowd is going to be necessary too as OG Anunoby lines up the 2 free throws. It's a common foul. This is his first trip to the stripe. And he gets a soft roll off the front rim. It's a 5-point game. And J.B. Bickerstaff, like he probably should have done a bit more during that 21-0 run on Saturday, will take a timeout to turn down the temperature. 7-0 Knick run, 4:27 left. Another free throw coming for Anunoby on the other side of the break. Pistons 90, Knicks 85. They've chopped 10 points off the 15-point deficit.
These are critical moments. Obviously, it's clutch time, and you're still waiting to see if Jalen Brunson is just doing a shoe change or grabbing his cape, as Tom Thibodeau said. But what is most important for the Knicks here is that they find a renewed defensive constitution. They've done a great job of coming up with stops on the other end, whether it's forcing shot clock violations, collapsing on the ball, and I'll even take the foul that they had the opportunity to give and to reset the shot clock on that last possession. But they cannot afford to seesaw back and forth. They have to find intensity on the defensive side of the basketball and be deliberate about everything they do offensively.
4:27 left. Knicks down 5 with a free throw after the break. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSD Radio Network continues after this timeout.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally, world-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary health care when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to the NBA playoffs. The moment we've all been waiting for is here.
The fans now on the edge of their seats.
It's time to stay locked in to every single moment. Because you never know when history will be made. When it's win or go home, every moment matters. So don't miss a thing. NBA playoffs presented by Google continues on ABC, ESPN, TNT, and NBA TV.
To win the NBA Finals, everything needs to line up perfectly. No different than finding the person you want to marry. When the time comes to propose, well, do what I did. Visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers. They'll make shopping for a ring easy. Let them help you pick or design the perfect ring to fit any budget from their 2 by London collection. London Jewelers is committed to getting it just right. So visit London Jewelers today at any of their 6 locations, including Americana Manhasset and the mall at Short Hills. Mention I told you to stop by. You'll get the Michael K. treatment.
This is Jalen Brunson. I'll be driving to my games this season in style in my new Jeep Gladiator from Princeton Jeep. My friends at Princeton Jeep gave me the all-star treatment, and you can expect the same thing too. Just mention that I sent you, and they'll treat you like family. Princeton Jeep has tons of inventory, great deals, and all new and used vehicles. Visit Princeton Jeep at 1045 State Road in Princeton, New Jersey, or online at PrincetonJeeps.com and tell them Jalen sent you.
90-85 and a free throw to come for OG Anunoby with 4:27 left in the fourth. But first, let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG radio networks.
NBA Radio on Sirius XM is available on your connected devices. Listen at home anytime you want with Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, or however you stream in the house. York.
Loud ovation from the Garden crowd as Jalen Brunson came right back from the tunnel and walked onto the floor in favor of Deuce McBride, who, by the way, knocked down 2 huge threes to keep the Knicks afloat. They were down by 15 midway through the third quarter. It was a 13-point deficit earlier in the fourth. And with Anunoby at the free throw line, it is now a 4-point game. He gets both. 90-86. Pistons ball. They lead with 4:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Cunningham pick and roll with Duren right side. Knifes into the lane. Took a hit and missed the leaner as he fell out of bounds far side of the rim. But foul shots to come. And both teams now will be in the bonus the rest of the way. That was a hit from Towns, who was trying to stay parallel with him on the way to the basket, but Towns will pick up his 4th. Cunningham, an 85% free throw shooter. It was Brunson who was 8 of 10 from the stripe in game 1, but Cunningham has that stat line here in game 2. Along with 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists, and another foul shot is good.
You got to give Cunningham a ton of credit. I mean, he's entering elite classes in terms of what he's been able to do in his first 2 postseason games.
The 20 and 10 back-to-back in his postseason debut. It's only been done by 4 other guys in the last 40 seasons. Second free throw was good. Fans wanted a foul on Schroeder in the backcourt, but no call. 6-point lead for the Pistons. Knicks ball from left to right with 4 minutes to go. Brunson at midcourt, gets it to Bridges right wing, defended by Schroeder. Back to Brunson on the near sideline, drives past Beasley, pulls back on the wing, gets it to Bridges in the corner, and his 3-pointer missed from the near side. Cunningham gets the rebound. From right to left go the Pistons. Cunningham down the lane, hangs in the air, met by Towns, missed the layup, rebound tipped up in the air, and Bridges grabs it. The Pistons have been getting those loose balls lately tonight, but Bridges takes that one. Right wing defended by Harris, crossover, baseline drive near side underneath the hoop. Thought he got fouled, but no call. Missed the layup on the bottom end of the rim. Cunningham strides ahead, gets a wide open left wing 3 for Schroeder. He missed it short. That could have been a dagger. Hart the rebound, loose ball foul on Detroit. Free throws to come for the Knicks. With 3:24 left in the fourth quarter, they're down by 6.
This is going to have to require a sellout effort down the stretch. And smart shot attempts. Mikal Bridges, I don't know what that last take was. I mean, yes, he's been a guy that's been able to score tonight on a night where offense has been borderline anemic outside of Jalen Brunson and inconsistent at best. But that last layup attempt was just an awful attempt into the gut of a defense who settled for a left-handed reverse.
Josh Hart, after drawing that loose ball foul, chucked the ball about 90 feet from basket to basket. And his first free throw is perfect. He was 4 for 5 tonight. 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Tom Thibodeau will call timeout. It was his use it or lose it. You get trimmed down to 2 no matter what under 3 minutes. And he also realized that we have not given you our out-of-town scoreboard yet, brought to you by Best Trails and Travel. That's New York City's premier charter bus company, Best Trails and Travel. Visit them today for the ultimate travel experience at besttrailstravel.com. Only one other game tonight. It is Denver hosting the Clippers after beating LA by 2 in overtime in Game 1 the other day. Tomorrow, you've got Indy hosting Milwaukee, looking to go up 2-0. Same story for OKC against Memphis. Very curious to see what the response will be from the Grizzlies after losing by 51. And then the Timberwolves, after, to some people, a surprising performance, a convincing Game 1 win on the road at the Lakers. They will try to get 2 wins away from home. And then the other 3 games get going the day after that. Boston, Orlando, Cleveland, Miami, Houston, Golden State. No surprises with those matchups so far, unless you thought Houston was going to be Golden State. That did not happen in Game 1.
I was watching the TNT postgame with the terrific crew.
Unless they talk about the Knicks.
Even then, I'll still call them terrific. I don't necessarily have to agree. But
fair.
Charles Barkley was so adamant that Houston was going to win. I will admit that I fell asleep. I looked up and saw the score, and I said, oh, well, they're a little bit anemic when it comes to scoring. This doesn't surprise me.
Did he yell out guaranteed?
He did not guarantee it pregame, but he did. And I think there's some truth to this. This is why I think this year's postseason is going to be really interesting. He pointed to the youth of the Rockets, the defense of the Rockets. Same thing over on the Timberwolves side, right? Versus guys with lots of mileage. You can call it experience, you can call it mileage. But are these bodies going to be able to sustain high-powered performances through a postseason run?
Josh Hart gets 2 much-needed free throws. It's a 4-point game now with 3:19 to go. This is the closest the Knicks have been since early in the third quarter. Cunningham trapped near side, gets it up top to Duren, hand off to Beasley, catch and shoot 3, in and out. Towns almost lost the rebound. He just saved it from the left baseline. Ahead to Bridges, open on the right wing. He'll take a 3. Short. Oh, the Knicks needed that one, but Duren gets the rebound. Most open look for Bridges tonight, and he's been sensational on the offensive end. Cunningham far corner. Now to the right wing, Harris. Hands to Schroeder at the midcourt logo. 2:45 to go. Pistons ball up by 4 from right to left. Schroeder, crossover behind the back. Now they post up Cunningham, far corner on Brunson. Double team from Towns, baseline drive, kick to Harris. He dropped it. Shot clock will expire. Harris had a wide open 3 if he only just caught the pass. Instead, the Pistons turn it over. Knicks down 4 with 2.5 to go.
So all throughout tonight's contest, the Pistons have gone at Jalen Brunson. Whoever he is guarding, they have looked to see if they can get a mismatch or get an advantage. Great work by Jalen Brunson to fight with Cade Cunningham on that possession.
Brunson with the ball, 33 points. In the lane, right elbow, pull-up jumper. Got it! 2-point game, 92-90 with 2:20 left. He was just nominated for Clutch Player of the Year, a finalist, and he should win it. Defending Schroeder now. Look at it to Cunningham near wing. Fake the handoff. Anunoby defending Cunningham. A pick up top from Duren. Pick and roll. Alley-oop. He throws it down with 2 minutes left. 4-point Pistons lead.
Gotta communicate. The Knicks have to communicate. How does Jalen Duren get wide open alone at the front of the rim? The pick and roll coverage is busted.
61 alley-oops between those two this year. Brunson, pump fake, leans in, got fouled by Tobias Harris, and Brunson holds up 3 fingers. We'll check the replay to see where his feet were, but he'll get at least 2 foul shots. Knicks down 4 with 1:50 to go, and crew chief Josh Tibbin also says 3 free throws.
That's huge. That's huge, and unlike Thompson, who was early in his NBA career, Tobias Harris, just his second year. Tobias Harris is supposed to know better on that one, a guy in year 14.
Brunson First free throw off to our right. Got it. He's 8 for 9 from the stripe, 36 points, 12 of 24 from the field, and he's found the range from 3, 4 out of 9. Knicks were down by 15 in the third quarter. And they finally, for the first time since the first, got it back to a one-possession game. Second foul shot, good. 94-92, and he'll get another. Malik Beasley nervously clapping his hands together at the right side arc. This young Pistons team imploded in a historic way in Game 1. The 21-0 Knick run was their longest since the 90s. Brunson missed the third free throw. Halfway down, it popped out. 2-point lead for Detroit. 1:46 to go in Game 2. Cunningham trying to get free. Anunoby won't let him go. Schroeder right wing. Drives on Brunson. Stopped. Now all the way back to the right side angle. Screen on the left from Duren. Pick and roll. Duren at the foul line. Stripped by Anunoby. Ball came loose. Picked up by Towns. 1:28 to go. Knicks can tie or take the lead. Brunson pushed from behind by Schroeder on the catch. Left wing. No call. Brunson dribbles. Crossover between the legs. Now to the foul line. Shrugged him off. Wide open Hart. He'll jam it inside. And we are tied at 94. Hart thought he got fouled by Duren. The Garden's going ballistic with 1:15 to go.
It is imperative that this defense remain connected. There's been more than one time tonight where the pick and roll is flat out busted. Cade Cunningham is having a monster of a game.
Tied for the first time since the first quarter. Schroeder left wing. 60 seconds to go. 8 to shoot. Schroeder steps into a left wing three. He was open and he made it. Schroeder for 3. The clutchest shot of the series. 97-94 Detroit. 55 seconds left.
And the Pistons are still going after Jalen Brunson defensively.
Right wing Brunson now wants to answer. Right wing 3. Back rimmed it. Harris the rebound. Knicks are in trouble. 40 seconds left. Cunningham on the move. Up top to Schroeder. 19 points for a guy playing on his third different team this season. Cunningham on Brunson. Runs him over. No call. Schroeder ball fake at the foul line. Finds Beasley near corner 3. Short. Rebound Bridges. 24 seconds left. Knicks have 2 timeouts. Brunson across midcourt. They do not call timeout. Brunson, left wing, between the legs dribble. Pass Schroeder in the lane, out to Bridges. Top of the key, 3 for the tie. Short. Rebound Duren. 9 seconds left. They'll foul Schroeder. The Knicks had their looks down the stretch, but now they'll need to cross their fingers for missed free throws. Otherwise, the Pistons are going to survive and tie up the series here in Game 2.
Mikal Bridges had a terrific look. He had a terrific look. Shot it short off the front of the rim. The story tonight continues to be affected in a major way by rebounding. The Pistons are plus 13 in that category, and that was a huge defensive rebound by them.
Would have been Brunson's 8th assist. Knicks do have 2 timeouts. Schroeder very short on the first free throw. He hit an off the dribble left wing 3-pointer on a pick and roll. That is the difference in the game right now.
Step 1, if this free throw is a miss, is obviously to secure the rebound.
Now Mitchell Robinson will check in with that exact thought in mind for Tom Thibodeau. Another night where all 5 Knicks starters are in double figures. Exactly 10 for Anunoby, Hart, and Towns.
And that has only happened in the last 4 minutes of this ball game, because both of those guys were flirting with single digits.
Schroeder missed the first. Knicks need him to miss the second. It's up and good. Timeout Tom Thibodeau. He will have one more after this. So with 8.1 seconds to go, it's just a 4-point game. So if you get a 3 here, no matter how many foul shots they make on the next time down, you can still tie it. So this is very much still hanging in the balance.
It's got to be quick, though. You got 8 seconds left. Considering that you then need to be able to foul and have a chance at the next possession, I'd give it about 4 seconds. You got to make something happen.
So that first missed foul shot from Schroeder opened up a whole host of other possibilities. We're getting a second look on that missed opportunity for the Knicks. Brunson was surrounded by 3 Pistons in the lane. just short on the three-pointer from Bridges.
It was a great look. It really was. He does a good job of squaring his body. As I'm watching that shot, the only thing that I really kind of took away from it was perhaps a little bit more lift from his legs. It's late in a physical ball game. The shot is short. Formulaically, you think lift on the legs first to give it a little bit more air.
And game 1 was the campaign game. This might be the Dennis Schroeder game. It's usually playoff baseball you talk about. You never know who's going to come through with the big play or the big hit. Or in basketball, the big bucket. We have seen it from almost career role players. We'll see if one of the stars can step up for the Knicks as they have Bridges inbounding. Hart, Brunson, Anunoby, and Towns are the options. Far sideline, Bridges is a step away from the Pistons bench will inbound. He's defended by Beasley. 8.1 on the game clock. Knicks down 4. Bridges holds the ball high. Inbounds to Brunson. Plenty of room. Left wing 3. Short. Rebound Duren. And the Pistons are going to win game 2. Maybe a little fatigue for New York. The execution down the stretch was plenty good enough to get open looks for 3, but they just could not hit them. They'll finish the game 10 of 34 from downtown. And Detroit is going to have a heck of a win.
The Knicks have missed their last 5 3-point attempts on the ball game, shooting less than 30% at 29.4. That is, unfortunately, consistent with games that they have not been able to be victorious in over the course of the regular season, as the three-point line is so closely correlated to this team's success.
Duren rattles in the first free throw. Game 3, which will be a very important game. It is on Thursday night in Detroit.
Knicks obviously will need to get that win to hold on to home court advantage.
Duren gets both free throws. Timeout Tom Thibodeau with 3.6 seconds left and a 6-point deficit. So it would take a miracle at this point. And what do you want to go, Monica? Silver lining or points of concern while we have a moment?
We could do both.
Point of concern is I don't know if the Pistons played all that well in this game. They were 6 of 27 from 3. They scored 100 points. And in the end, the Cade Cunningham show was assisted just enough by Dennis Schroeder to get the win. You figure, as the favorites, the Knicks might drop a game or 2 or even 3 if the Pistons put it all together. But what do you think? Can you say that tonight?
I'd actually add to your point of concern that they were out without one of their key guys in terms of the glass, and that is important in Isaiah Stewart missing because they still managed to out-rebound the Knicks by 14. So I'm with you. I think we've got solid points of concern. Silver lining, what you got? Or shall I?
I would say Karl Anthony Towns never has back-to-back games where he just scores 10 points. So I think you can expect a big response for him in Game 3.
I agree with that one. I
think you got Deuce McBride and Mikal Bridges going a little bit on the offensive end. That was encouraging. The season low for Towns is 9. It happened just once all year.
I'm going to go my silver lining is you look at this box score and you think phooey, and you still had it a one-possession ball game with under a minute to go.
Towns catches at the top of the arc, hands back to Brunson with 1. He'll take a 3 from the right point, bricked it. And the Knicks finished 10 of 35 from long range. And the Pistons have tied the series with a 100-94 win, holding off a furious Knick comeback, who tied the game after trailing by 15 earlier in the second half.
I have come into this series saying, and will continue to say, I have tremendous respect for this Detroit Pistons squad. I think that this is a challenging matchup for the Knicks, particularly to your point on a night where Karl Anthony Towns is not the separating factor. Cade Cunningham, we've seen him put up 30 and double-digit, triple-doubles even here in the Garden. So familiar sight for the Knicks. They've got to do a better job of disrupting him. And I know it takes a toll in terms of trying to guard such a big and versatile all-star point guard with physicality. But somebody's got to do it.
We'll take a break and bring in Pat O'Keefe to get his thoughts. And Monica will dissect this game. And I'm sure it will be among the media and others heading into Thursday's matchup. But it was never going to be easy. This Detroit Pistons team, all of a sudden, not just the best story of the regular season, but They're making some noise in the playoffs as well. 100-94, the Pistons win Game 2 to tie this opening round series at a game apiece. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Hey, do you ever wonder how life might look if you'd saved a little more? Well, April is Financial Literacy Month, and Planned to AT is here to help. We're a nonprofit helping young people improve their futures through financial wellness education. Our fun, simple workshops help students build healthy money habits and get them ready for the workforce. Text PTAT to 26989 to learn how you and your company can get involved. That's PTAT to 26989.
It's NFL Draft Week, and the place to stay informed is SiriusXM NFL Radio.
What if the guy you really do target is gone?
Our experts are breaking down the needs for all 32 teams.
Even if somehow at 21 you draft a quarterback, is that the guy you want to take with you right now?
And you'll hear every selection of the draft and interviews with the newest members of your team.
To be officially in the NFL and know where I'm going, man, I'm excited.
On SiriusXM NFL Radio, Channel 88, and the SiriusXM app.
The best place to get your basketball fix every weekday is Give and Go with Worldwide Wob, Rob Perez, and former NBA champion Antonio Daniels on NBA Radio.
If you got Steph, you got a chance.
Evan Mobley, his unicorn status is about to be unlocked.
They'll cover every story and talk to great guests across the association every afternoon.
NBA Hall of Famer Mike Breen.
Anything shy of certainly the finals would be a disappointment for the Celtics.
It's Give and Go, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, only on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the SiriusXM app.
Get ready for the 2025 NFL Draft on SiriusXM NFL Radio.
With the first pick, the Tennessee Titans select.
We caught up with the top prospects as they get ready to start their careers in the NFL.
Miami Hurricane quarterback.
Hey, sports fans. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here on Toronto Sports Insider during the Playoff Pulse. Our mission is simple, bringing sports fans together to hang out, cheer, and change the world one insider at a time, while supporting SickKids Hospital in Toronto every single game.
Cheers, insiders and sports fans from around the world. The Playoff Pulse campaign on Toronto Sports Insider is uniting fans worldwide through the thrill of NHL and NBA playoffs. Every game, every fan, every moment counts. The link is pinned in the chat and in the description. Check out our campaign page. Donate if you can, or share it with friends. Holy Mackinac! Every click helps sick kids heal the future. Just by being here, you have already made an impact. Now, chat it up. Keep it classy, and let's keep changing the world one insider at a time.
Just look the totality of the two games so far. Detroit has come into Madison Square Garden, as we know, not an easy place to play. They've acquitted themselves quite well. They've got to be feeling pretty good about going back to Detroit, even at a game apiece, and especially about the way that they bounced back after Game 1's finish here tonight.
Yeah, I said to Tyler on the broadcast, based on what we heard from J.B. Bickerstaff pregame, and he talked a lot about closing in the fourth quarter, to me, it felt like the Pistons were focused on closing since the start of the third quarter in this particular ball game. And granted, it still became a one-possession ball game down the stretch, but I just thought Cade Cunningham had a game that, unfortunately, fans here at the Garden are all too familiar with in terms of him being able to turn it up and put up big numbers here versus the Knicks. He was focused. He was delightful from a basketball standpoint. Of course, not so delightful if you're rooting for orange and blue. And then Dennis Schroeder, just enough in the right moments to support that effort by Cade Cunningham.
One of those veterans, Dennis Schroeder, for sure. And I thought a big difference was what Detroit was able to do on the defensive end. And yes, Brunson got his 37. He had to work very hard once again to get to that total. Bridges got off to a good start, but then cooled off. Karl Anthony Towns, they made life very difficult for him tonight. Towns finishing with 10 points after his very big Game 1 here. Overall, it looked like Detroit's defense took it up a notch from the other night.
And that is without Isaiah Stewart, now, who is an important role player in the rotation and the physicality that they play with. So I will say I am disappointed in Karl Anthony Towns. I can't pinpoint exactly what Detroit did to him watching this ball game, as opposed to just a lack of assertiveness from him in the second half. In the first half, I thought he did a good job of making Detroit pay for putting Tobias Harris on him. But other than that, he sort of shrunk away from the moment. I will say this, Pat, and I know we're going to get Tyler in the conversation here. Overall, though, even though you look at some of these numbers, Mikal Bridges was having a solid game. I actually didn't like the shot selection he took at late. He took that layup that I thought was a bad shot. He took a bad three. The three that he got that would have tied the ball game was a good look. But overall, I felt like the Knicks were disjointed offensively. They were a step slow defensively and a step too fast offensively all night for me.
All right, you'll have plenty to break down on the MSG television post-game show. We'll talk to you from Detroit for Game 3 on Thursday night. Tyler Murray now here. The offense, as Monica said, seemed a little bogged down throughout the game for the Knicks. You could throw OG Anunoby, and he didn't have the same offensive impact that he had the other night. And I guess, Tyler, this is one of the byproducts of falling behind. They fell behind in Game 1. They trailed by 9 points. They trailed by 8 in the fourth quarter, and they had that historic run. But if you fall behind enough times, you're bound to not come back every single time.
That's what happened in the regular season. They were down in the first quarter by double digits just about in the regular season against the Pistons, and they came in here and won both games on the road at MSG. And the key to that was Malik Beasley making late clutch threes, but he was 1 of 8 tonight, and that goes to my larger point. The Celtics last year in their playoff run, they lost Game 2 of the first and the second round. These things happen, but last year, the Heat won Game 2 because they shot 54% from 3. And then the Cavs won Game 2 because they shot 46%. The Pistons were at 22%. They were 6 of 27. So this isn't one of those fluky wins for a road underdog in the playoffs where, you're not going to shoot lights out every game. So that's why I kind of like this matchup for the Knicks if they want to make a deep run. I thought Milwaukee, what we saw from them in Indiana, that might have been almost weirdly a too easy series. They're going to be tested by this Pistons team because they can score and they can defend in a lot of different ways. And we're seeing that right now. So they've really got a lot to look at and readjust if they want to get a big win in Game 3, because who knows what could happen from there if some of these struggles we saw tonight continue.
And you have to give the Pistons credit. Obviously coming away with a win, yes, but after what happened in Game 1, giving up that 21-0 run and giving up that fourth quarter lead. And then it happened again tonight. I mean, the Knicks trailed this game by 13 with less than 7 minutes to go, and they methodically chipped away. And over about a 5.5-minute span, the Pistons scored a total of 4 points, allowing the Knicks to get it even at 94 apiece. And then with 55 seconds to go, the biggest shot of the night, Dennis Schroeder, who's not a great three-point shooter, he was left open for a split second, and that ended up being the game winner for the Pistons.
I remember saying this in the third quarter, just a thought I had when you're lining up the rosters for these two teams, and like, oh, right, Dennis Schroeder's on the Pistons now. I remember thinking, oh, man, he's not the best player in the league by a long shot, but he's just annoying to deal with. He gives you maybe some Kyle Lowry flashbacks a little bit to last year with Philly, not nearly as accomplished, but he made a big shot, and it wasn't necessarily stunning, I don't think, just the way he played in this game. So the question has been, leading into the series, who is going to be the secondary guy behind Cunningham? Well, Game 1, it was Tobias Harris. Game 2, it was Dennis Schroeder. But the question that Monica asked with Karl Anthony Towns, you've got a way more talented roster. You're supposed to have advantages, and Towns seemed like the advantage tonight with no Isaiah Stewart to worry about, but they just couldn't capitalize on it. So interested to see what the hardest working coach in the league will dial up, because there have to be different buttons you can push to try to get the series back in your side.
Well, to that end, in the fourth quarter was a lot of Jalen Brunson again, and he got them back in the game.